San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime use.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego, and a happy Wednesday to everybody out there in America's finest city. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local, each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan, leading up to Gwynn and Chris today. And another night game between the Padres and the San Francisco Giants. 4-game series this week. Tomorrow, we only have an hour show. The Braden Surprenant Show is only an hour tomorrow.
Would have been a really good day to have an hour show today because there is nothing going on in the sports world right now.
It might seem like that, but that doesn't mean we're mailing it in. We got tons to talk about on today's show.
We are scratching the bottom of the barrel for today's show,
No, we're
boys
not.
and girls.
No, we're not. Got tons of stuff. Padres Giants, obviously, last night. Hey, Ryan O'Hearn looked pretty good in the starting lineup, huh? Struck out the first time. I was sitting there going like, somebody rooting against, somebody cheering for this right now? Huh? No. Ryan O'Hearn, 2 for 4 last night. Pivetta, at the beginning of last night's game, which I had to go for practice. We talked about this. My day to get to the game. So I thought I was going to be able to get out of practice at a certain time. We like to run late. So the time I was supposed to pick up my friend at 5:30 turned into 5:45, turned into 5:55. And then I got down to the ballpark at I think I parked in the structure at 6:30. Walking into the park, missed all the pomp of circumstance and all that fun stuff. Heard the first pitch get announced by Don Orsillo walking into the park. Now we're underway. And then all of a sudden the crowd got silent a couple pitches later, and the Padres were down 1-0. Well, I wasn't even in my seat yet. Already down 1-0. You're like, oh, here we go again.
See, that's all you needed was just to be in your seat.
You know what? It's true.
In the seat, they did not score again.
There was a couple things that we did that sparked some rallies too, Frank. So
we don't need to hear about those.
No. But you know what? You're welcome, San Diego. Anyway, so they're down 1-0 to start the game. You're like, oh, here we go again. We get to our seats, lock into the game. And the Padres did a pretty good job of manufacturing runs yesterday. Fernando reaches on an error by Christian Koss. That was kind of a circus. Flipped it over the top of the first baseman. So Fernando reaches, and then Arise rips a double. I still, even though he ripped a double yesterday, still don't think Fernando's getting the proper protection he needs, but that's neither here nor there. Manny gets the infield ball in play to get the first run of the game. So you answer, and then the Padres offensively had 3 innings in a row where they were able to get contributions from guys, run a little bit, get some clutch hits. And it was overall a satisfying game for the San Diego Padres. This is the game that they needed to do 2 days ago. This is the game that they needed one time in LA. Not really much to break down in last night's game. But you look at the top of the order, Fernando got a hit. He was 1 for 3. Arise 1 for 5 with a double. The top 4 batters in the order all drove in a run. Machado was 2 for 4. O'Hearn 2 for 4. Xander was 0 for 3. But did get hit by a pitch and got on base. Ramon Laureano 1 for 4. Gavin Sheets 1 for 3. Iglesias 1 for 4 with an RBI, contributing in the 8th spot. And Elias Diaz, who he worked a walk and ended up scoring, all contributed. Everybody in the lineup contributed in some way or another yesterday. Full team effort on offense. The pitching side, Nick Pivetta started the game off with a bomb to Jung-Ho Lee. And then settled in. Only allowed 3 total hits. From that point on, only allowed 2 hits over the remainder 6 innings with 2 walks and 10 punch-outs. Nick Pivetta settled in nicely. bullpen did their job. They only allowed one hit in Morejon, Adam, and Suarez. And collectively, it was a pretty good game. Padres got the W. As you were watching at the ballpark and looking at the scoreboard in right field, as you were probably doing so while at home, looking at your phone, Dodgers handled the Rockies, as you would expect. And so you're in the exact same place you were as yesterday. So they had 2.5 games back, technically, of the division lead.
Still true.
Magic number now to make the wild cards 31. They have now lost their control of their own destiny for a handful of spots, the Padres have, after getting swept by the Dodgers. And we'll see what happens over the weekend. In terms of percentage chance of making the playoffs, they have a 97% chance of making the playoffs as of right now. Highest percentage chance of making the number 5 seed in the postseason. But again, they got to try to track down the Cubs, who had a little bit of a bounce back day against the Brewers yesterday. Now, just to go back to our conversation of, can the Padres, if they win a certain amount of games, where they're going to be at? If the Padres now win 50% of their games and go 18 of their next 36, they'll have 88 wins, which gives them a 98% chance of making the postseason. If you want to increase that chance to almost 100%, they got to win 53% of their games, winning 19 of their next 36 to get them to 89 wins, which is still in the realm of possibilities for the San Diego Padres. Overall, I thought the game was fine. I thought the Padres played well. I mean, I liked, the lineup last night wasn't bad. I still don't understand the Arise in the 2-hole spot, but you got to see O'Hearn bat. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't a left-hander yesterday. But O'Hearn in the cleanup spot did a really good job. 2 for 4, the run scored, and an RBI. I like him batting 4. I kind of like Laureano batting 5 over Bogarts. But again, it's a luxury that you can have. I mean, having a guy like Xander Bogaerts bat 6th on your team, pretty nice to have. Gavin Sheets in the lineup again yesterday, with obviously Jackson Merrill not playing, and I don't mind him in left field, and he continues to hit despite his role being changed. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to be a guy that was a starter, an everyday player, to being most of the time on the bench, to be able to, when he gets back into the game and he finally gets to start again, all of a sudden he continues to go back to what he was doing before and going out there and hitting. But overall, a solid game last night by the San Diego Padres. I mean, there's not a lot you could really break down yesterday, Frank, when it comes to the Padres game. Offensively, they did what they needed to do. Defensively, they did what they needed to do. Pitching-wise, they did what they needed to do. And these are some of the games that you would expect out of the San Diego Padres against the Giants at this point in the season.
I mean, the only bugaboo you can really nitpick at from last night was the fact that you went 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 7 of the 9 runners you left on base last night were in scoring position when they were left on. So that's really the only thing you can nitpick about. But again, it would be nitpicking because you didn't lose the game. So you still won despite all that stuff. And you got your stopper to do exactly what he's supposed to do. Nick Pivetta stopped the skid, stopped a losing streak, and put you right back on the right track. And now it's up to JP Sears, who we'll talk about a little bit later on in the hour. It's up to JP Sears now to keep that momentum going.
I was going to bring that up too. I mean, it felt like last night the Padres were getting guys on and on and on and on. And it just, you look at the board, I'm like, just 5? Just able to get 5? I mean, leaving 9 on base, 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Not necessarily going to cut it more times than not. But I will say this. You did have 14 opportunities with runners in scoring position, which means you were doing something good offensively, getting guys into scoring position. They need to get that extra hit. They got to get that slug to be able to drive more runners in. And that's been like a point of conversation with Fernando, right? In the leadoff spot. We think it's a little bit of the protection, but also today, like, Saris had an article about Fernando and where he stands in the box and the contact point he is making on the ball. And it's really fine detail in it. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because on the radio, it's just going to be a bunch of numbers and it's not going to make a lot of sense. For the visual learners out there, it's just trying to picture it in your head is not going to be very good. But there might be something to it. Saris put in the Athletic article about the contact point for Fernando in what he was doing before and what he is doing now. In terms of his contact point, he is swinging later in the zone and making contact later in the zone, which is great for contact and putting the ball in play, but it's not very good for hitting home runs. And Saris mentioned what MLB.com had in an article about the exact, like the good target point when you swing the bat for a home run, the ideal launch angle and the ideal contact zone. And Fernando's not in some of those. So if you want to check out that article, it's in The Athletic. Again, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but there might be something there with where Fernando stood in the box, where he's going in terms of getting the bat through the zone, where he's making contact with the baseball, could be leading to some of the lack of pop. And again, it's not I'm so tired of having people be like, see, look, he's not on steroids anymore, so he's not going to be able to put the ball over the fence. Well, no, that's not the case. He's still in the top 15% in terms of exit velocity and power in terms of his swing. So that's not really much of a factor. There was something else I noticed last night that I have now noticed the last couple of nights involving a certain Padres reliever. And I don't know if it is serious or not, but I find it interesting that in the last two times he has run out there, he has put up the same relatively statistic, I guess, or put up the same metric that usually is a cause for concern. Who am I talking about? What am I talking about? Well, we're going to get to that as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This is our 97 to the fans brought to you by Nativa Interiors. This Labor Day weekend, two iconic design companies are joining forces for a warehouse sale. Join Nativa Interiors and hold it contemporary home in Miramar for huge discounts on living, dining, bedroom, and outdoor furnishings. Call or text for more details at 619-215-6893. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2. If you haven't done so already, follow us on social media at B_SURP, at B_SURP show on social, on Twitter. You could also follow the station at 97 through the Fan SD. Follow Frank Marchese at FMarks with the Z, FMARKZ324 on social media. Follow us wherever you get your social media accounts. If we have an account, those are the handles that we use. If we don't have the account, if you can't find us, we probably don't have it. That's what we got. If you haven't done so already, on YouTube, give us a like. We really appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. Also, that first link on the page is to the Braden Surprenant Show page. Give us a subscription to that. That would be great. It's free. It puts all of our videos right there ready to go whenever you jump on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys doing that as well. Again, it's in the description. If you are driving around and you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening somewhere else, you can go to youtube.com/at B_SURP. It will lead to our page. Click the subscribe button and give us a subscription. It's great. Puts all of our videos right there ready to go. We're at 553 subscribers. We were trying to get to 500 by the end of the baseball season. You guys have blown past that. Now we're looking at the next goal, which would be 1,000 on the list. So off and running to our first 1,000 subscribers, which we are excited to eventually get to. So with all of those moving parts, I do want to talk about this. I want to see if you noticed this, Frank. Have you noticed the velocity of Robert Suarez in his last two outings?
I have not, no.
Robert Suarez against the Dodgers were sitting at like 96, 97 on his fastball. Before then, you look at all of his baseball savant numbers, 99, 99, 99, 98, 99, 99, 98, 98, 99. I mean, up to 100 on a lot of the four-seam fastballs, on a lot of his sinkers. And then you get to the series against the Dodgers. So I'll put it this way. Robert Suarez pitched August 11th and August 12th against the Giants.
Okay.
These are all on pitches that happen to be final pitch of the at-bat. Okay, so there might be some others in there where he's taken up a little bit higher. Against the Giants, Willie Adames, 98.9 mile-an-hour sinker. Against Dominic Smith, 100.8 mile-an-hour sinker. Patrick Bailey, 99.1. Elliot Ramos, 99.7. Casey Schmidt, 99.7. Rafael Devers, 100.4. Mookie Betts on the home run, 96.8. Will Smith, 97.3. The fan. Teoscar Hernandez, 98.7 on the sinker. Last night, Dominic Smith, 96.3. Against Christian Koss, 95.8. And then he finally cranked it back up to Patrick Bailey on the last out of the game at 99.7 miles an hour. Think he's tired?
I mean, that or he's trying to pull back a little bit to save his arm, knowing what happened last year.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a little bit noticeable. I don't know if it's that big of a deal yet. That's something to like monitor over the next couple of times that he's pitching. But the last two games against LA and San Francisco, it's been a little bit lighter on the fastball, a little bit lighter on the velo for the sinker too. Either he's maybe it's an adjustment to try to pull back a little bit, get guys to swing out in front instead of the changeup a little bit. But I just find that interesting that he's been at 99 to 100, 98 to 100 for the majority of the season. I mean, the last time he threw a pitch that's a fastball at 96 or lower, you have to go back, and I'm still just going back. It's home run derby with Chris Berman. Back. The last time he did it was back on June 29th against the Reds. He threw it 96.8 on a sinker ball. It's interesting.
He might there. I mean, there's a couple reasons for that. Like, again, he could be trying to pull back to save his arm a little bit. He could be trying like a new grip that maybe he's not giving him the same velocity, but it's trying to help him get some movement on it. There are a couple of reasons why I don't think his arm is dying.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I just find it, I don't think it's an injury concern either because the Padres would have been.
Yeah, they wouldn't be
on it.
They wouldn't be throwing him every other night.
But I do find it's something to monitor. It's something to monitor. His velo has ticked down a little bit. I mean, like 95 and 96 is for Robert Suarez is very, very low.
Yes.
It's very, very low compared to what he had been doing before that. Maybe it just looks slower because of Mason Miller. Maybe they adjusted the radar gun, try to bring people back down to earth. He needs that Shohei Ohtani radar gun.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they had that on Sunday against the Dodgers, and that 96.8 is really like a 90.92. It's quite possible. Any other takeaways from last night's game? That was the only other thing that I noticed.
Mason Miller hit 108. What's going on here?
110. What's going on?
I mean, as far as last night's game goes, it was a solid performance all the way around. It was a solid, complete baseball game. That's really all you can say. There wasn't really anything other than the two dopes that ran out on the field. There really wasn't anything else that was worth pointing out. It was just a solid, well-played baseball game.
Don't run on the field. It's just asking for trouble. Just don't do it. The fact that we had two last night was kind of ridiculous.
Way to never be able to enjoy the ballpark ever again.
Yeah, I mean, what a waste for like 10 minutes of fame? Not even that. I mean, I guess people in the chat are talking about it. I mean, the thing is, you run on the field, you're at the risk of getting crushed. And two people last night got crushed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I don't encourage anybody else to. I mean, that's why they do that, to make it like.
Oh yeah.
Plus, the player safety is that. You don't have no idea what those people's intentions are.
And both of them just doing circles around Fernando.
I know.
Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Couldn't believe. I that was not on my bingo card last night. Two of them. Seeing two of them.
Well, yeah, as a player,
on Tuesday night.
As a player, you're told just stand there. It's not don't move, don't engage, just stand there. That's what they're supposed to do in that spot.
Manny was laughing.
Well,
a couple of times.
He was the furthest away from it.
I think on the second tackle.
Yeah, Jason Adams' reactions, what's been going around more than the videos.
Xander Bogaerts had a good reaction on the second. he turns around. He's like, oh. I didn't get to see the Jason Adams one.
Oh, he just kind of does the whole, ooh.
No.
That kind of.
Gotcha. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Yeah, Padres win last night. They stopped the skid, but they got to be able to build off that now. Do you think we saw enough out of Ryan O'Hearn where we're going to start seeing him more in the starting lineup?
Yes.
I mean,
2 hits
well,
last
you and
night.
I have seen enough, for sure.
2 hits last night. He was one of only 2 players. Manny was the other one who we said be very nice to see a 2-hit performance out of either Manny or Fernando or both. 2 hits last night, had the big home run the night before. He has struck out 12 times, but he's a high strikeout guy. I'm fine with seeing him every single day. He should be in there every single day.
He's hitting 277 on the year with an 830 OPS. He's one of your most contributing OPS players on the team.
I think he's only hitting 214 with the Padres, but then again, he hasn't had a lot of at-bats. So that number is going to fluctuate big time.
But overall in the season, which again, he was an all-star, he has the 3rd highest OPS on the team right now, at least in the starting lineup from last night. Laureano's got the highest at 903. I mean, he's having a great year, and he needs to play every single day, too. Ryan O'Hearn is behind Manny by 3 points.
There you go.
Manny's OPS is 833. O'Hearn's is 830. That's a guy that needs to be in the lineup every single day.
By the way, Il just brought him up in the chat, Il619. How about Chris Ello last night?
With the catch?
Catching a foul ball on the fly off of Elliot Ramos. He said it's his first foul ball. He's had a couple bounce and roll to him, but that was the first one he's caught on a fly. Congratulations, bud.
I did get asked the question last night, have you ever caught a ball in the press box?
No.
My answer was no, I'm usually trying to defend my laptop. There's a lot of dents in that press box.
I've always considered going after it, but there was one last year that even I went over to Jesse and Tony after, and how they always joke about how they dive out of the way of foul balls when they go up to the booth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I never would make fun of you guys for diving out of the way of a foul ball, but now I never will. This foul ball came screaming up. Dennis Lynn had gone up to get a drink or whatever, hit his chair dead center, bounced over the press box table, bounced over the walkway in front of the press box, and landed about 7 rows deep.
7 rows in front? I mean, there's only like 12 rows in
ball
that particular section.
My hand would have been backwards had I tried to catch that. I'm like,
OTL style, dude.
I'm getting out of the way, man. We're done.
Got to OTL that.
Yeah. No, there was no OTLing that. If there was OTL, my thumbs would have been like on the other side of my hand.
I can't wait to see Frank's OTL team next year.
Lord knows, chat's going to give a couple names.
The names? Casing? Something to do with casing?
Natural casing, court 41.
Frank's natural casing. You're up on court 42. Foul for Frank for not catching it. I don't think so.
Yeah, when you
get up there and catch it.
Yeah, when you have a 110 mile an hour foul ball coming at you, let's see what you do with it.
Starting pitching for the Padres has been a little, iffy. I think a lot of people had some concerns about it. Pivetta looked good last night, but might be seeing a face that you've only seen one time, and it'll be the first time at Petco Park. JP Sears expected to return tonight. What to expect? We'll talk about it when we come back. Braden Surprenant Show live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Alongside Frank Marchese, I'm Braden Surprenant. We're talking Padres baseball with you. We talk a little bit about tonight's potential starting pitcher. Has he been they still haven't made a roster move, right?
No, they haven't made a roster move, but I think Schultz a couple days ago said that he is official. He is going. He is going to be the guy tonight.
He had a locker yesterday, didn't he?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I think he did. I think that's according to Jeff Sanders. He had a locker in the clubhouse the other day. MLB.com's listed him as the starter, actually.
Yeah.
So there you go. So JP Sears is back.
So again, don't expect a lineup until late because the roster move has to come out first.
They like to take a long time on that.
Yes. Don't expect a lineup until I would say at least 4:30 would be my guess.
So JP Sears getting another opportunity here. JP Sears, which we thought was going to happen, right? After this kind of all these games in a row, you knew that JP Sears was going to come back at some point in time. So JP Sears is back and will most likely be starting tonight against the Giants. JP Sears is at a 258 batting average against with Oaklamento this year in 22 starts. 5 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts, a walk on 94 pitches, and in his only start with the Padres. Very much a fly ball pitcher, and he obviously needs to be around the zone to be effective. Doesn't have that swing and miss stuff. I'm curious to see what JP Sears can do at Petco Park as a fly ball pitcher. We've talked about the metrics before with JP Sears. I didn't want to make him as excuses, but we talked about him. JP Sears pitching in a ballpark like the ballpark in Sacramento was never going to really do much. It wasn't going to be very good. And so this year, JP Sears had not been very good in Sacramento. He goes and he makes his Padres debut in Arizona. That's another not a friendly ballpark for fly ball pitchers. Ball flies in Arizona. High desert. Okay, thin air. Ball jumps even though they got the humidor. But at Petco Park, where fly balls go to die, he might have a really good opportunity to settle in against this Giants team and keep the ball in the yard. And the Padres could really use that right now as they continue to find something in terms of starting pitching. And again, the starting pitching is all based on getting you through the end of the season, not necessarily into the postseason. You have enough of the guys like Pivetta and hopefully Michael King and we'll see what happens with either Yu Darvish or Dylan Cease to get you through enough innings as starting pitchers in the postseason. It's the bullpen that needs to do the job. It's the bullpen that needs to carry your way. In his career at Petco Park, he has made one start. He went 5 innings, allowed 3 earned runs on 7 hits with 3 walks and a strikeout. He had a 2 whip. Now, that's against the Padres lineup, so it can't be too worried about that. But that was back in 2024. If you look at some of the other ballparks that are more pitchers-friendly ballparks, he's done a pretty good job. Like Miami, with the cavernous gaps and deep fences, he's got a 2.84 ERA in his career. In Detroit, it's a 2.77 ERA. I mean, all these places where it takes a lot to hit the ball out, he's got some pretty good numbers. In places where it's easy to hit the ball out, his numbers aren't very good. Again, very hitters-friendly ballparks where he gets lit up more times than not. That being said, he does have a 3.18 ERA at Coors Field, so take that for what it's worth, and 11 1/3 innings. But JP Sears can be maybe a little bit of a bridge to help you get to the end of the season. In terms of expectations tonight for what JP Sears needs to do for the Padres to win, Frank Marchese's got his prediction. 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 82 pitches. That's going to be a successful outing for JP Sears. I think if JP Sears allows 3 runs, the Padres can still win. I'd like to see him get a little bit more of a bounce back, Frank.
No, I agree. And that's just random numbers picked out of the air from what I think he can do and what I think would still give the Padres a chance to win. It's also nice to see a lefty coming out of this rotation on every 5th day, especially a guy who's got a funky kind of delivery, as we've discussed. But looking through his Baseball Savant, I never look through Baseball Savant stuff, but it's actually really interesting.
You can get into some serious rabbit holes on Baseball Savant.
Yes, I can. And that's where you look at the swing take data. He is not a guy who is going to get you to swing and miss. He's not going to get you. He's not a guy who's going to get you to chase. If it's out of the zone, it's most likely not going to be. It's not going to be swung at. So he's not a trickster pitcher. He's a guy who's, I believe they said it at Bull Durham. He's a very democratic pitcher. He lets the fielders do the work. So it might look a little tense. It might look a little scary. He's going to give up some hits, but I think JP Sears will thrive in this ballpark. Plus, he's going to need to get a little bit of time within the organization, work with Ruben Niebla. It's going to take some time for him to adjust, but I think he'll be all right.
I think so too. Now, the interesting thing about JP Sears is, and Letters to AJ has pointed this out a couple of times now, has been his first time through the order. His first time through the order has been very good. JP Sears' first time through the order has done an exceptional job throughout the season and really in his career. I'm going to pull up the exact numbers on Baseball Reference here in a second. But when you look at his first time through, he's holding batters pretty good. Okay, so here's his numbers on facing opponents in a game. And the question is, it's like, when you use JP Sears in the postseason, you gotta be thinking postseason. Like, JP Sears right now is just trying to get you innings to make it to the end of the season. But postseason, between him and Nestor Cortez, I don't necessarily know who's making the team. You got a lot of lefties in that rotation, on that pitching staff. Is it Wandy Peralta, Yuki Matsui? I mean, there's a lot of options you can have, and not everybody is going to be on that playoff roster. First time through the order for JP Sears has been, at least in 2025, pretty good. Left-hander with a funky delivery. In 204 plate appearances, He has held opponents to a 226 average with a 294 on base and a 676 OPS. His BABIP against is 283 on a batting average on balls in play. He's got 53 strikeouts to 14 walks. He has allowed 6 home runs, no triples, 11 doubles. His numbers have been pretty good. Those numbers that I just mentioned you are solid numbers, Frank. For a starting pitcher, those you'll take those. You're absolutely take those for a number 5 starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Then you look at the second time to the order. The batting average jumps from 226 to 271. The OPS jumps from 676 to 906. The batting average on balls in play shrinks. The home runs jump from 6 to 14. And the strikeouts shrink from 53 to 38. And the plate appearances and the at-bats have been relatively the same. He is, first time through the order, 204 plate appearances. Second time through the order, 207 plate appearances. Those numbers, Frank, that I just mentioned, not very good for a starting pitcher.
You know what that screams to me? That screams long reliever.
Screams piggyback guy.
Yes. It screams opener. That screams a guy who is going to eat up innings in the middle of a game.
Or maybe just at the beginning of the game, too.
I'd rather do it in the middle. I'd rather have a genuine starter out there to start the game, but that's just me. I'm old, I guess.
How much older are you than me? 2 years? What are you, 32?
33.
33. 3. You are old now.
Yeah,
Dang.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So that's the second time. Do you want to see the third time through the order?
Probably not, but I mean, he's probably not going to see the third time through the order. So
21 games he has gotten to the top of the lineup for a third time. He has gone 84 plate appearances for that. I mean, he doesn't go through the third part of the order too many times.
No, that just means he's not getting past the 5th inning too much.
80 at bats. His opponent's batting average against is 350. He goes from 226 first time through the batting order to 350 third time through the batting order. Now, most of these numbers are very common for pitchers.
Yes.
The third time through, most pitchers are getting hit a little bit better than the first time through. Obviously, wear and tear, fatigue, seeing the guy multiple times. That's what makes that's the difference between a starting pitcher and a relief guy. Starting pitchers can get the same guy out multiple times after being seen. Relief pitchers can only get him out once. That's why they're in the bullpen compared to a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So a 350 opponent's batting average. His walks jump up too. In terms of his on-base percentage, 381. Slugging turns into a 538. It's a 918 OPS. Batting average on balls in play jumps to 373. He has only allowed 3 home runs, but again, smaller sample size in terms of third time through the order, and he only has 10 strikeouts. That strikes me as a guy that you want to just get to the order one time.
Yeah, that screams to me playoff long reliever. That's what it is.
Have you seen Dylan Cease's numbers? Do you even want to know? Dylan Cease, first time, it's drastically better, by the way, than JP Sears.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
First time to the order for Dylan Cease, 206 batting average.
How many walks in there, though?
18 to 74 strikeouts. He's got a 4.11 strikeout to walk ratio. Okay. So first time to the order. Pretty good. On base percentage is 268, 582 OPS, 297 batting average on balls in play. Second time to the order, it jumps to 266 batting average, 359 on base. His strikeout to walk ratio, how about this? First time to the order for Dylan Cease, his strikeout to walk ratio is 4.11. He's striking out 4 batters for every walk he allows. The second time to the order, that drops to a 2.35. Gets a little wild. OPS jumps to 822. Third time through the order, if he gets through a second time, the third time through the order is actually not that bad. Goes back to a 240 average, 316 on base, 739 OPS.
So he starts the game off well.
Mm-hmm.
His mind breaks the second time through the order, and then he fixes himself for the third.
Then he locks in for the third time through.
I have an idea. This might be a radical idea.
Okay, here we go.
How about instead of locking in for the third time through the order?
Lock in the second time?
Yes. Like just skip that bit and just go straight to locking in.
How do you fix the
game.
problems that you don't even know you have? You got to get the problems out of the way. Then you can fix said problems.
Supposed to find those out in the bullpen session before the game, but
Anyway, so if you look at the outlook of JP Sears and the outlook of Dylan Cease, maybe you start Dylan Cease in game 3 of a playoff series. Dylan Cease will get through it faster, right? He's probably going to get through the first time through the order, unless he's playing the Dodgers. Then you might as well just hope and pray. But get Dylan Cease out there for the first time through the order. That will get him about 3 innings. Maybe you let him go. Maybe you let him go. Maybe you let him go through the first time and then the top of the order for a second time. Just see how it goes. And then you bring in JP Sears. So that gets you about 3 innings of Dylan Cease. Let JP Sears go 1 time through the order until he gets trouble. I would imagine that's probably 2 innings if you want to be conservative.
Yeah.
Now you got 5 innings. You got a 5-inning start. 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 of your 5 guys in the pen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a recipe for success. Now, that being said, and we're going to talk about this later on in the show, Frank has put together a way too early look at the free agent list. If you have to do that for a guy as a starting pitcher like Dylan Cease, I don't necessarily know if you want to give that guy $35 million a year.
No.
Probably not.
Hold on.
Absolutely not. That's going to be a big no for me, dog. It's a no from me, big dog.
A little pitchy for my taste.
It's just not going to be the case. But in order to make it to the playoffs, this is what I'm talking about in the whole situation of like the bullpen in the postseason is more important. You're not asking Dylan Cease in the postseason to get you through 4 or 5 innings. You're asking Dylan Cease to get to the order 1 time, 1.5 times. You're not asking JP Sears to get you 6 innings. You're asking him to get to the order 1 time. That eats up innings real quick, and now you get to the bullpen. So that's how I think you view it in terms of like the postseason plan. Now he hasn't done. I don't want to say he hasn't done well against LA because he did have a really good start against LA here at Petco Park early in the season.
And start 1.
Still, he had a good start. I mean, I also don't want to discredit the fact that they threw him on like 3 days rest, something that he obviously can't do in the postseason either. I mean, but it's recency bias for a lot of different things. But in terms of Dylan Cease, I mean, this is the thing is you have to go with what you have. This is the team that you have, and you got to find solutions for that third guy because I think Michael King and Nick Pivetta are solid for 1 and 2. You got to find what you're going to do for game 3. You got to figure out what you're going to do for game 4. And that's including guys like Yu Darvish and JP Sears and Nestor Cortez. I mean, you got to figure out your options. You could also go Randy Vasquez. The Wandy Peralta Randy Vasquez combo was not bad. Let me tell you, that was not bad.
The only problem was it just doesn't get you deep in the game. That's it. That's really the only issue.
How many innings did Wandy give that day? 2?
1 1/3.
1 1/3. Yeah, because he started getting in trouble. I mean, Wandy against the top 3 guys, and
I
then
don't think he got in trouble. I think he was just
he walked somebody.
Didn't he just face the 4?
He put somebody on base when Randy came in. I thought he walked somebody, or he looked like he was starting to teeter.
Looking back on it now, that was what, Friday?
That was Friday's game. He either like walked somebody or hit somebody. I thought was the case. I don't think he got that guy out. Maybe he did.
Yeah, no, he only faced 4. He faced the top 4, got them all out.
He got them all out. All right. Well, yeah, maybe they just pulled him. They're like, hey, we're good. We're ready to see Randy Vasquez. Who knows how much longer he would have had.
Yeah, got Ohtani line out, Betts fly out, Will Smith strike out, Freddie Freeman strike out, and then in comes
And then they
Vasquez.
took him out.
Mm-hmm.
thought he walked a guy, or maybe he was getting wild or something. That's what it seemed like. I don't know if I'd go 2 innings with Wandy Peralta.
Struck out Freeman on 4 pitches.
Let him face all the lefties, and then you go with Vasquez. I'd rather have Vasquez face the middle to the bottom part of their order first time through anyway than their top half of the order. But again, with everything with the playoffs, and we mentioned before, and we're going to get to this later on because it was interesting. It was on MLB.com about which World Series win would mean the most to baseball, talking about the teams that haven't done it in a long time or haven't done it at all. And you look at what you have to do in the postseason, and if you want to get to that point, because the Padres are mentioned in there, you got to get through LA. So you got to figure out a way to navigate Los Angeles the best you can.
Don't do anything creative. Just play baseball.
Correct.
Another novel concept.
These are the options that you basically have. These are the options that you're trying to put together for the postseason. And again, JP Sears gets it tonight. We'll see. And I still think JP Sears and Nestor Cortez are battling for a roster spot right now. Nestor Cortez started off strong. Second start, gave up a lot of bombs. San Diego Padres, JP Sears, start to his Padres career, not very great. Maybe he'll settle in here. Maybe he'll settle in start number 2. I'd love to see that happen. But when you're looking at the playoff roster, I mean, who are you gonna? There's gonna be an odd man out here. Looking at the playoff roster from the pitching standpoint,
unless it is maybe a Yuki Matsui or someone we're not thinking of, David Morgan maybe. There's always that other option because when Nestor Cortez was coming up, the last person we thought was going down was JP Sears, and he was the guy.
I wouldn't be surprised if Yuki Matsui's not on a playoff roster. Because remember, it's not like you have to cut him for the playoff rosters. Hour down, got an hour. We got more than an hour to go. We're going to talk about some new streaming deals for Major League Baseball, which just got leaked when we come back. 11 o'clock on the Braden Surprenant show. All right. We were talking kind of about the postseason roster a little bit. Again, people are going to be like, we need to make the playoffs first before we start talking about this. Well, okay. I'm going to hit the sign again. Hit the sign. The Padres win 50% of their games. They go 500 the rest of the way. They get a 98% chance to make the postseason. Despite how bad things might have been for the last 4 days, they're probably making the postseason, Frank. Anybody disagreeing with this? Tap the sign.
No.
Okay, so we can move on to what a playoff roster might look like. Now, here are some rules of the playoff roster, just so we all know. In a typical season, any player who is on the 40-man roster or 60-day injured list as of 11:59 Pacific time or 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on August 31st is eligible for the postseason. Was Nestor Cortez on that? I think so.
One more time.
Oh, yeah.
Cortez?
We haven't made it there yet. It's not July 31st. It's August 31st. So you have this month. Anybody that's been on the 40-man roster or 60-day injured list as of 11:59 p.m. Eastern time by August 31st is eligible for the postseason.
Yeah,
He's on
Cortez
it
is
we're not there
eligible.
yet. Okay, so they could still add guys to it to be eligible. Those on the restricted list at that point are also eligible if they haven't been suspended for performance-enhancing drugs during that season. RIP Profar. A player who doesn't meet said criteria for postseason eligibility can be added to a team's roster in the postseason via petition to the commissioner's office. Nobody's going to do that. Roster rules for the postseason. Got a 26-man roster, and you submit a 26-man roster prior to each round of the postseason comprised of postseason eligible players. A club may request permission from the commissioner's office to replace a player who is injured during the course of the series, but that player is then ineligible for the rest of that round and the next round, if there is one. A pitcher may be replaced by only another pitcher and a position player only by another position player. Teams carry extra players throughout the postseason in the event of injuries, and those players, as well as players on the injured list, can be in the dugout during games within reason. Okay. So, you look at the roster for the Padres. This is where you got to make some interesting decisions. So the Padres then, Frank, need 13 pitchers for the postseason.
Okay.
Without including Yuki Matsui, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten you down to 14 pitchers. You still need to cut one or not have him on the roster or be a thing where he's not on the first round roster, but he's on the second round roster. Remember, they can do that too. So I think you look at it from a perspective of bullpen, swing arms, and starters. Because again, the starters, like, there's not going to be a lot of them. There's going to be starters that are in the bullpen. Some of these guys might be piggyback guys. If you look at the bullpen right now, Adam will be on there.
100%.
100%. I'll just start locking guys in here. Adam's a go. Jeremiah Estrada's a go. Again, these are all barring injuries. Mason Miller's a go. That's 3 off your list. Then you go to Adrian Morejon. He's a go.
Mm-hmm.
David Morgan, Wandy Peralta, Robert Suarez. I think Suarez is a for sure go.
Yes. I would say if anyone would not be a go, I think for the money that they're paying Wandy Peralta for the season that he has had, it would unfortunately be David Morgan's the one that's off.
If you're just picking between those players.
I would think Morgan would be on for the wild card series because it's less games. So you would want that swing arm like Sears or like a Cortez for the divisional series if you make it that far. But that would be my guess. I would have to say Morgan would be the one to go.
And he's been great this year too.
He has.
Then you look at the swing guys. Nestor Cortez, Yu Darvish, J.P. Sears, Randy Vasquez. Darvish will be on the roster unless he's hurt.
Yeah, Darvish will 100% be there.
I think it's an interesting case for all 3 of those swingmen. Okay, I'll leave them off. Starters, Cease, King, and Pivetta. Again, that's just in alphabetical order. Those guys will all be on the postseason roster. And you'll go with King and Pivetta as 1 and 2, flipped either way. I mean, the more King spends on the IL, the more I want him not pitching in game 1 with the recent knee deal. But that leaves you, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 of the 13, which gives you 5 guys battling for 4 spots. And by the way, We haven't even factored in Yuki Matsui. Yuki Matsui's not on that list right now. So if you throw him on the list, then it's 6 guys for 4 spots. And we have nothing. We haven't even brought up Joe Musgrove's name.
No, because Musgrove should not be pitching this postseason. I know as much as he wants to, he is more valuable next year than he is this year.
I agree. Don't get emotional on the decisions for the Padres or for Joe Musgrove.
I wouldn't. I honestly, what's Yuki's ERA? It's up over 5, is it not?
Yuki's is not good.
If
I'll look it up right now.
I'm sorry.
I would leave Yuki Matsui off the playoff roster.
I think it's like a 541 maybe was the last I saw it at. That's not, I'm sorry, that's not a playoff roster. And at that point, right, I don't care about the money at that point. You are not coming in a chance to ruin a playoff game for me. Sorry.
Yuki Matsui's 2-1 with a 4.63 ERA.
No,
on
sorry.
The season.
Bye. You're not on the playoff roster.
Not compared to what Wandy Peralta's done. Wandy Peralta, who's a veteran, has done it before. I got to look up. Did Yuki Matsui pitch in the postseason last year? He had to have.
Yeah, he might have done against the Dodgers at some point.
Yuki Matsui pitched against the Dodgers in an 8-0 loss.
Yeah, so again,
that was it. He threw 1 inning in the postseason.
That's a throw, and it was a throw in because it was a throwaway game. Game was over.
Right. I would not have him on the roster. That's why I didn't even include him on this particular deal. So Wandy, I wouldn't. And then you look at Wandy Peralta's numbers. He's got 3 ERA this season. And again, we've looked at his numbers of recent games. When you look at his game logs, this is why I gave him a decent grade for the first half grades.
Yeah, Peralta's been fine.
Outside of that,
the one
outing against the Yankees, his former club, Wandy Peralta's been great. He has been great.
No, Mario, we're saying Yuki off of the roster, not Yuki on.
He could be arguing with somebody in the chat.
Oh,
too.
okay. I was going to say, yeah, we're not trying to give Yuki Matsui a playoff role here.
Wandy Peralta also has other playoff appearances. He's a vet. He's a lefty. I don't mind having Wandy Peralta on the team. So I look at it from that perspective, and I pull up the our little sheet we have. I think Peralta's on the team. So now you're looking at other spots here. Nestor Cortez, J.P. Sears, Randy Vasquez, David Morgan are 4 players battling for 3 spots.
For the wild card series, I would say it's going to be either Cortez or Sears. For the 3-game series, I'd rather have more short bullpen arms than a swing guy. That would be what I would rather have.
I'd rather have David Morgan for a wild card series.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd rather have him. I think he would be on it, which leaves you Cortez, Sears, and Vasquez. And you go with Cortez and Sears over Vasquez?
No. No, I would go with Vasquez and either Cortez or Sears, whoever performs better down the stretch here.
I'd probably go Vasquez and Cortez. Cortez has playoff experience.
He does have the playoff experience, which is why I would assume it would lean towards him being that, but I don't. I'd have to see how they both pitch.
And he's coming off of not that great of an outing, obviously. JP Sears, I don't think he's ever played. He's not pitched in the postseason. He's been with the A's the whole time.
As far as Yuki Matsui's contract is concerned, he's $5.5 million this year, 5.75 next year. He has an opt-out after next year, which I don't see him opting out of.
I don't see him ever opting out.
6.5 million in 27, 7 million in 28, which is again another player option, and he's a free agent after that. I understand the Padres playoff; they're tied with his contract, but when it comes to the playoff roster, he doesn't need to be DFA'd for a playoff roster. You make the cut or you don't.
Yeah, he'll still be on the team, and he'll probably be like that. Break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, he'll be on the taxi squad.
Right, 100%. I mean that's what I would do. But again, there's a lot of moving parts here. I think the Randy Vasquez. To me, I think David Morgan has played himself onto a postseason roster.
Yes, at least for the wild card round, 100%.
I mean, you never know what you're going to get with the other arms out there, right? I mean, David Morgan's 1-1 with a 1.78 ERA this year.
He's been phenomenal.
It's been phenomenal. He's 35 in the third innings, high velo guy. I mean, added to the wealth of arms that the Padres have in the bullpen.
I mean, the only thing you hope is it's not a Tom Cosgrove thing where he falls apart next year. That's the only thing you're hoping for right now on him.
When they brought him up, though, they were super high on him, because that was like why is David Morgan getting called up in Double-A when you have all these other guys, Bradley Rodriguez and stuff like that? And it's like AJ Preller liked him.
Kid's stuck too.
Throws hard, and he's been up here to his
credit.
Time, and he's stayed up here. And I think he's going to continue to stay up here with what he has done in that bullpen. Makes that bullpen even scarier in the back end.
100%. By the way, the Houston Astros are just continuing to disintegrate in Detroit right now.
The Carlos Correa effect.
Yeah.
You could take the guy out of Minnesota. You can't take the Minnesota out of the guy? Come on.
Detroit put up 6 runs in the first inning. Framber Valdez is still in full meltdown mode right now. It's 7-0 now going to the 4th inning. Houston Astros still have not scored, by the way. It's a 31-inning scoreless streak I think they have going right now. And they had a runner on third with less than 2 outs last inning and couldn't get him in.
Well, makes it 24 innings not seem that bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Not still pretty bad. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. New ways to watch baseball next year? There's some rumors on the new streaming deals for Major League Baseball. We'll tell you what the rumors are. It's not for certain yet. Obviously, got to wait for the Padres and their TV deal, but some interesting things to talk about nonetheless on how you might be able to consume Padres baseball in the future. As we continue, Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station, 97 through the Fan. Baseball talk on 97 through the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number sports station, 97 through the Fan. Thanks again for making our day a part of yours. A beautiful day it is in the month of August in America's finest city. Padres got a victory last night over the San Francisco Giants. We've been talking about that for the first couple parts of today's show. We'll talk more about tonight's game for the Padres. JP Sears expected to get the start tonight for San Diego. We'll break that down later on. We'll get a little bit of NFL and college football talk, too, later on in the show. Week 0 is this week in college football. We have 5 college football games on Saturday to get excited for. Now, this came out this morning, and Eric Grubner got to tease something. He can't have he didn't say the details of it, but he got to tease something on Bennett Woods last week about maybe TV deals. And this is the latest rumor that came about. Now, nothing's official. We don't know anything, and we can't report on anything until, we know for a fact this is going to be the case. But kind of some rumored items out there in terms for how you can consume Padres baseball or baseball in general in 2026. Taking a look at some of these reported changes. Now, Frank put a good list together here on what exactly was broken down in the article. So I'll let Frank do his mic swing. And it sounds like there's not going to be any more Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, Frank.
Yeah, no, it sounds like Apple TV Plus is out now. It's going to be out completely. And instead, those games will be moving over to Peacock, as well as Sunday Night Baseball and the Wild Card Series will be exclusively on NBC and Peacock. We're also seeing that the Home Run Derby will be on Netflix. That's reported in this deal, as well as the big one, which would be MLB.TV getting bought out by ESPN.
ESPN's doing a lot of stuff to try to get basically all the live sports.
They are
on this streaming platform, thinking it's going to be a big hit. We'll see. I mean,
they're going to force
diehards will have to watch it. But I don't know. Can you get the streaming numbers that they're looking for?
They're going to, because if you put everything on there, people are going to want to watch it. So they're going to strapping a rocket ship to this thing is what they're doing.
And the people that are diehards of baseball that don't care about the other sports are just going to pay for the baseball season and then drop it off, hoping that they just accidentally continue to pay for stuff. I like the ESPN stuff. See, I'm probably going to get this ESPN thing. And to be honest with you, it's going to make it easier for a guy like me that doesn't watch a lot of television. I watch mostly live sporting events. So in terms of getting the next kind of TV package together, if I just pay for this one app, which is never the case, right? Oh, if I just pay for this one app, and then it's like, well, and then I need this app, and then I need that app, and then I need this app, and then it's almost like as much as cable anyway. But I do like ESPN acquiring MLB.TV. I think that's very interesting. Now, to recap what Frank said, NBC and Peacock is expected to take over the Friday night games. Apple TV Plus is out. And they will take Sunday Night Baseball and pick up the wild card games. So like those deals that ESPN dropped. So ESPN dropped their national games of the week, their nationally televised games. And it looks like they are trying to go with the regional sports and the regional networks, where they get probably more content, obviously, on a daily basis instead of the big production national content. ESPN still wants involvement in local MLB rights. I find that very interesting. To me, that makes a lot of sense. Like, working for ESPN Plus in some capacity, you get to see some of the inner workings of ESPN. Mm-hmm. They just like the quantity over the quality of the broadcast. They just want as much of it as possible. Their main broadcasts that are on their main networks, they want to be done really well. But based on what I have noticed from doing games for from an independent contractor standpoint, being on ESPN Plus, there's definitely a list of games that they pay attention to and games that they're like, we don't really care how you put it on. Just put it on. We'll just take what people watch. And there's a lot of that content on there. So ESPN has deals with most conferences in college athletics in which they have every single sport, like team sport.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of USD's athletics are on ESPN Plus. Like every time I broadcast for them, it's on ESPN Plus. UCSD in the Big West has everything on ESPN Plus. The only one that doesn't is the Mountain West. They have their own Mountain West network, which I think is with Stadium. But I would imagine, well, they haven't signed a new. Do we have a new media deal yet? Wasn't that coming like at the end of March for the Power 12?
No, I
Isn't that what they teased?
That's going to be. That's supposedly the deal that we were talking about with CBS, which is basically the same deal as the Mountain West deal.
Yeah, they haven't signed it yet, right?
No.
And they're like going to put some other thing. But who knows if San Diego State's going to be on ESPN Plus. But anyway, ESPN's buying, and then they got the deal with the WWE, right?
Yeah, you're right.
They just got that deal.
With WWE.
They're getting a deal done with the NFL, with Red Zone.
They just lost the UFC, which is very interesting how they would lose UFC but get WWE, which are both owned by TKO, which, that's interesting.
I think non-subscription fights probably are better for ESPN. The WWE, I think, fits ESPN's clientele more than the UFC does. Where CBS and Paramount fits more the UFC clientele. Plus, with Paramount, like that used to be, what was that?
Well, with Paramount, the numbered fights aren't going to be pay-per-view anymore.
I know, but it's still going to be on Paramount Plus. It's the same thing as the WWE on ESPN. What I'm saying is, the clientele for Paramount and CBS. Yeah, I mean, they already had the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yes, yeah.
So they already had
Spike
the Ultimate
TV,
Fighter when it was Spike, and then that turned to Paramount Network, which is now probably all on Paramount Plus. UFC has already been built into CBS and those kind of things, so it's not surprising to me. And then the WWE going to ESPN, also not surprising. NASCAR is the only thing that ESPN doesn't have, because they have the regional hockey too. They have the regional hockey.
Yes,
now.
They do have NHL. They've had NHL for the last couple of years,
and we already know that they have the NBA. So they have the NBA, they have the NHL, they have the NFL now, to an extent. Right, with the Red Zone, which is they don't have regional, like the NFL doesn't have regional contracts.
No, it's just it's all the national
thing. That's the closest thing you have for ESPN. So ESPN went out and bought rights to the NBA, rights to the NHL, rights to the NFL, and now regional rights to Major League Baseball. They have the top 4 sports. They have every important conference in college athletics. They get a massive deal with the SEC. They have just enough of the big. They have the Big Ten is mostly on Fox, but ESPN's got a little bit of the Big Ten.
Big Ten's also on NBC
CBS
as well.
Yes. They're also CBS.
So just Big Ten just goes wherever it wants. Well, then
Big
again,
Ten's got a little bit everywhere.
When you create college football.
Yeah. But ESPN's got they got the biggest conference in the SEC. And then they have all these they got every single mid-major conference.
Yeah.
With the exception of the Mountain West.
And the Colonial. Oh, no. No, they have the Colonial. Never mind.
They literally have any type of live sporting event that's massive in the United States, ESPN has on this app now.
Colonial's mostly on Flow.
Flow Sports.
Mm-hmm.
What about Team One Sports in Hawaii? We have to watch all the Hawaii games. That just got nixed the other day.
I'm gonna have to find a way to watch all the Hawaii games now with my rebuild dynasty. I snuck away a win from Arizona yesterday. Week 2.
I think this is a great play for ESPN. I think it's a good play for Major League Baseball too. But we'll see what happens with the production. We'll see what happens with, and this is going to be, they'll probably get, this is like a national TV kind of contract, right? I mean, the TV deals that ESPN signs with all the conferences are relatively the same. I'm fascinated to see what the type of contract is. And how it affects the Padres, and if they are getting they're getting money back and not just subscription based.
The only thing I really genuinely care about is if you end regional blackouts. That's a thing that we have grown past. You have to end
I agree.
regional blackouts.
You
at
should
this
be able to
point.
pay your way out of blackouts.
But you can pay your way out of blackouts by buying MLB.TV plus the $20 for the Padres a month.
Yeah, but then there's still stuff where like the Dodgers games are blacked out because it's close enough or something like. There's still these weird areas where you'd have to buy every single team in that area to get out of the blackout. Yeah,
San Francisco.
I don't know why that was on yours because
I
that
have
wasn't
no
on my
idea.
buddies at all.
I've never been able to watch a Met Giant game in San
Giants
Francisco.
game. The only thing I don't like is the home run derby on Netflix. I'm not inclined to watch the home run derby on Netflix.
I'm not inclined
if it's
to
on
watch the home run derby
ESPN
at all.
I'll throw it on. But if it's not easy to watch, I'm not watching it. I'm shocked. Netflix, I feel like Netflix picks the wrong entities in sports. They pick like the random holiday games. I guess that works for them. On a thing, did they get the Thanksgiving football game or the Christmas game or something like that?
I don't remember, but I know like with the Jake Paul fight, if you remember that, the Paul Tyson fight.
Oh,
if that thing stutters and buffers as much as that did, especially when it comes to an NFL game, they're going to be out before they even get in. I mean, WWE on there has been fine, but that would be a big problem for them.
The Hawaii test.
Yes, and I saw somebody there mention in the ask in the chat what's going on with the UFC coverage. UFC, I believe, at the end of this year is going over to Paramount Plus, and their numbered pay-per-views are no longer pay-per-views. They're going to be on Paramount Plus.
I think this ESPN deal could be good for the Padres.
Could be.
I think it could be really good for the Padres. I think it gives them an option to hopefully get paid for the broadcast rights. Hopefully that's the deal. Hopefully they get some type of money back and it's not just subscription-based, which is what they're currently getting with the MLB.TV deal.
Hopefully we get like a genuine pre- and post-game show again.
Yeah, like hopefully
television.
It gives them more funding and stuff like that. And right now the Padres have to produce all their own stuff. I mean, that's asking a lot for a Major League Baseball team to do. And the ones that have all these long broadcasts and pre and posts are teams that have gigantic TV contracts.
Yeah.
Like the Dodgers, like the Yankees and the S Network,
And
like SNY.
It's also a huge disservice to the fan base, especially for road games, having a 5-minute pregame show and then just getting right into it. That's not okay. That's not good.
There was once upon a time when I first started working here that when the Padre games were on 94.9, our pregame show was like 10 minutes. We had like a 15-minute pregame show and like it was like a 20-minute.
That's radio
show.
Though. That is radio.
Still,
that's
though,
radio though.
That's still,
it's not great. You're right. It's not great. But as far as television, where most people are going to be going for the game, you got to do something. You got to do something for the television.
TV, I think, had like a 15-minute pregame. It was super short.
It has to be the at least a half-hour pregame with the desk, the way it used to be, and then a half hour to an hour postgame. That's the way it should be.
All right. Overall, you're a baseball fan, not just a Padres fan.
Yes.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
For this?
For this.
If it gets rid of local blackouts, it's 100% thumbs up. If it's like what the MLS does, where you have to pay for Apple TV and then you have to pay for the monthly subscription for the right to watch the MLS games, thumbs down.
I look at that ESPN price, right? What they say was going to be $30 a month.
Yeah, it was going to be 30, yes.
$30 a month to get all of this stuff is worth it.
Yeah, to get all of it.
$30 a month plus everything else
to get access to it.
Yeah, is not worth it. At least for a consumer, in my opinion. Now, will I do it for the Padres season? Probably. And then at the end of the Padres season, I'll be like, cut it off. I'll do a lot of things for Padres baseball and a lot of things for TCU football. That's basically it. There's nothing else worth whatever. Like sometimes I get SiriusXM radio in the fall just for college football, which is mostly just so I can listen to Brian Estridge.
Like
TCU football.
Like I love Hofstra football and Hofstra basketball, and I love auto racing, of course. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I am not spending $30 a month for Flow Sports basketball and Flow racing. I'm not
either.
I'm not doing that. If it was $30 for all of what Flow Sports has to offer, Yeah, absolutely. I'm in. $30 for this bit, $30 for that bit. No, not a chance.
It's tough. Tough ask for the consumer. People just trying to pay rent. More times than not.
It's funny
especially in
how,
this town.
again, corporations are people too, man. How are they?
Stop it. Stop it. Nobody's believing you. Stop it.
I wasn't trying to get anyone to believe me.
I
there.
know. This just. I know the bit.
Thanks for stealing more money that we don't have.
I like the deal. I think this could be potentially awesome for the Padres and for Padres fans. So we'll talk more about that as more details come about. We got a lot of games that matter right now. It is scoreboard watching season. We're going to take a look at those games, what happened last night, and what's happening tonight, plus get to our sports thread when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. 11:39 on a Wednesday. This is midweek right now. This is definitely a hump day, Frank.
What gave you that feeling? The fact that we've got a bunch of afternoon baseball on, the fact that we are scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I got some good football stuff later on the show. I can't wait to get to. That's scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's been like a long week, man. I just feel like it's been a long week. Tomorrow's going to be good for us.
We're going to be taking a look at free agents upcoming this year.
You put that on there
because there was nothing.
Come on. I got creative with some stuff. Which World Series win would mean the most to baseball?
It was hard to be. I put that on there, and it was hard to be creative at 11:30 at night last night.
Buy or sell 5 NFL teams set to decline. Funny. Top 25 preview, college football 25.
What are we on the Infinity Sports Network today?
No, it's the middle of the week, dude. Talk about some Padres. Padres at the beginning of the time. We said we were going to be the college football and NFL show too. So
Zach Gelb have the day off today? Is that what we're doing? We're going syndicated for the last hour?
No, that would be talking about strictly quarterbacks. That's what that would be.
I love Zach Gelb. So that's
Zach Gelb. Hey, it's Zach Gelb.
He's a good guy.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
I've worked with him several times. He is a good guy.
Anyway, so we do have some football stuff later on. It is week 0 this week. You should be excited.
No, it is week 0.
We got 5 games coming up.
I figured, we were going to talk more about that on Friday because I was trying to spread the football topics to Friday, which is...
We can, but here's the thing. Like, you understand...
It's also Padres Dodgers, too.
The Dodgers again. Yeah. So. All right, the Padres made a roster move.
Oh, wow. They're early today?
Yeah. You want to take a wild guess what it is? Don't even look at it. Take a guess. You're going to be nails on this.
Vasquez down.
No. He's already down.
Oh, Cortez down.
No. We talked about it earlier. We said for sure this was going to happen. Bullpen guy.
Oh, what? Oh, Marinaccio.
Marinaccio. The Karate Kid is getting sent down. JP Sears has been recalled. Ron Marinaccio is getting sent back down to El Paso. Option backed. Sears will be our starting pitcher tonight versus San Francisco, according to the Padres. It's now official.
I forgot he was even there.
We talked about it. I told you it's a Wednesday. We gotta get fired up on a Wednesday. All right, it's time to get it into gear. Okay, it's time to get it into gear. I don't know what we've been doing the last whatever. You know what? You know what's gonna get us into gear? You know what's gonna get us into gear? It's gonna be Brandon and Carlsbad. Brandon, get us into gear. What's going on?
What's up, man? Let's have a day, huh? What's up, Frank? Good to talk to everybody. It's me, Mr. Toxic Positivity, coming straight at you.
Toxic Positivity.
Well, I heard you guys say that yesterday after we hung up, and I see a little bit of chirping in. Sometimes I say hi to everybody in this section. I don't care. I think if we worried about what people thought about us or say about us, it would be a world of you dragging on someone else's BS.
I agree.
With that being said, we are the Padres. We're not going to drag on anyone else's BS. We're where we're supposed to be. We're winning. We're going to make it there. And like you said, you might have a little Mr. Toxic Positivity. You said at the beginning of your broadcast, we could go 500 and still make the playoffs. Now, I don't want to do that either.
I don't want to do that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, man. And look, I'll check myself. If I've been sounding like I'm not holding them accountable as a fan, as someone that's been a consumer of season tickets since Jack Murphy and the posters and everything. Like, yeah, dude, we want this. We deserve it as a city. We've lost teams. I've regurgitated that over and over. So don't get me wrong, you guys out there. Yeah, we need to pull our heads out of our butts on certain standpoints, make strong and smart roster moves. Like, yeah, we're not GMs and we're not coaches and we're not managers, but yeah, dude, like the whole O'Hearn thing, like, look at him and he keeps producing. So let's give him a little bit more of a shot. Other than that, you guys, and I also agree, just talking the TV points. I work with a bunch of athletes, and I love to watch athletes that I've worked with blossom and eventually make a pro field or fighting in a cage or serving in a competition or whatever they're doing. And I'm tired of buying a million different apps, as you guys know. So if we can centralize some of these locations and make it more affordable, because I think that as a consumer and a fan of many sports and as a coach, I'm tired of buying all these apps. So if that works out good, that's great. And it puts Padres on a broader spectrum, and they deserve it too. We've worked hard. And I do believe before at least I pass away, and I'm 47, hopefully sooner than later, that we get a pennant for our city. So thank you guys. I'll always love the broadcast. I love calling in. Thank you too, Frank. Smile a little bit more, Frank. Man, you're a solid guy. You see you back there. The analytics are great. Put a smile on it.
Hard to smile when you're a Mets fan, Brandon. Come on now. Come on.
Frank. Hey, you know what? I got love for the Metropolitans. Here's why. Because to me, the Yankees are the West Coast Dodgers. So I'm with you.
Brandon, appreciate the phone call, brother.
Hey, right on, you guys. Thanks.
It's awesome. Michelle keeps chirping at Brandon, by the way. So Brandon in the chat, go deal with that.
Go deal with that.
That's the best way I could put it. She loves Brandon and Carlsbad. It's great. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. You know what we got? We got Lou and Lucchese. I haven't heard Lou in a long time. Lou, long time, no talk. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I really appreciate the foreshadowing on Padres delivery next year. I was annoyed initially with the Apple TV, but there's ways around it because they got a free week's trial and you just need a different credit card. But Peacock didn't play that game, and I just hope they don't mess with my direct TV because I'm camping out in the boonies, and there's nothing like satellite delivery. If they don't mess with that, I'm okay. Because if I don't get games, there's always 97.3 The Fan, which allows me to get a lot of stuff done, like gardening and computer work and stuff like that. But do you know when this actually is all going to come together and it'll be official?
I have no idea. This is just the rumors, Lou, and I appreciate the phone call. I know we'll probably be told by the Padres about any potential TV deal, any potential conversation about the future, but this is what some of the behind the scenes workings that have been leaked out, with potential ESPN and Major League Baseball. So obviously the nothing will be official until we hear word from the Padres, but sounds like there's some when there's smoke, there's fire, Frank.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. I have time for one more phone call before we get to the sports thread. Emily in El Cajon, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Emily?
Hi, you guys. Hey, I had a question since you're an authority on this subject. Now, I'm a football fanatic. So are you telling me that if it's out of market, I'm not sure what that means, but when it says ESPN or it says YouTube, you have to subscribe to those channels to watch a game?
According to this, and I appreciate the question, Emily. She asking about, what is she asking?
She's saying if out of market games, if you're going to have to subscribe to out of market games. Now,
I don't think so.
Again, you're going to have to pay a monthly subscription for the app. That we know. It's pure speculation on our part whether or not you're going to get all of the content for free the way you do currently on ESPN Plus right now.
Yeah, we have no idea. All we know is that these entities are negotiating with MLB about certain products they want.
Yeah, we don't know if you're going to have to pay an extra subscription to get this stuff, or if, like Apple TV does with the MLS, it's hidden behind a paywall, so you're paying for the app plus you're paying for MLS Season Pass. Or if it's like ESPN Plus right now where you just get it. We don't know what the case is yet.
All we know is that Netflix wants the Home Run Derby and ESPN wants regional networks, and Peacock/NBC is taking over Sunday Night Baseball, the playoffs that ESPN had,
Apple
and
TV
Friday night, and Apple TV's gone. That's all we know. And that's just all rumored reports, and we'll get more information from the Padres and Major League Baseball when they make that official. Nothing is official, but that is the reporting that is going on. I want to make that clear for a lot of people asking us contract questions. I don't know the answer to those. Anyway, sports thread time.
You know that group chat? The one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no!
Disaster! What a bad idea! No filters, no silence, just real talk.
All right, Frank, what do we got?
Boy, we've got a number of things to get to today, starting with
Number one.
the Colts quarterback. With the Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson Jr.'s future in flux following Tuesday's decision to name Daniel Jones the team's starting quarterback, Richardson's agent reacted with disappointment in the move and said that he is unsure of his client's future with the team. The agent, Dedrick Jackson, stopped short of demanding a trade, but he wondered aloud whether Coach Shane, the quarterbacking decision may have been predetermined when the Colts signed Jones in March to a 1-year, $14 million contract. We have a lot to discuss, Jackson told ESPN of his impending conversations with the Colts. So, do you feel as though Richardson was given a fair chance at the starting quarterback position?
As a member of the Colts,
Yes.
altogether?
Yes.
I would say so. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he was very good coming out of college. I think he had a couple of good games, and he had a live arm, and everybody thought he was going to be legit. And then the first year, he started off strong before getting hurt. And then last year, I mean, he had to pull himself out of the game last year because he was out of breath, down by the red zone. I mean, at that point, that should have been the final nail in his coffin. And then they had to go. Did they end up going with Flacco at some point during the last season? It's just like, if you can't ward off Joe Flacco, which is, I guess, everybody in Cleveland right now, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. He's not very good.
No, he's not.
He's not good. And the fact that he came in and beat you out is everything you need to know about Anthony Richardson. That's everything you need to know.
On a 1-year show me deal, too.
Yeah. So many times. Here's the deal. This is probably the first time this guy's ever had to win a job without just going somewhere else. It's the NFL now, man. You know what that stands for? Besides no fun league, not for long. You got to perform. He didn't do it. And now Daniel Jones is starting for the Colts. Are you kidding me?
I'm sure many Colts fans wish they were.
Number two.
This is our Colts.
Enough with that guy. Enough. It was cute last year. Now it's getting annoying. He's doing halftime concerts. He's
doing halftime concerts?
Yes. You didn't see that?
No.
He was on the field last week doing a show at halftime.
Oh my God. What in the OMG is going on?
Stop. Enough with that guy, please.
This is our Colts.
John Wall is retiring after 11 seasons in the NBA. It felt like so much longer, honestly. Wall, 34, played most of his career with the Washington Wizards after they made him a first-round draft pick in 2010 out of Kentucky. The 5-time All-Star point guard finishes with an NBA career averaging 18.7 points and 8 assists per game. Wall, in a social media post, said, "Today I'm stepping off the court, but not away from the game. Basketball will always be in my life, and new opportunities present themselves. I feel now is a time to walk away confidently into my next chapter." It's also been reported that he is now going to be an analyst for Amazon Prime's coverage of the NBA. What do you take away from John Wall's career other than this?
John Wall, that's it. That's it. It's the only thing I take away is this. I remember this in high school. I remember doing this in high school. This was like a big deal.
Yep.
That's it. We played Kentucky or something, Duke?
Yep, Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, I just remember from the Kentucky days.
That's it.
Goes to the NBA.
That was all.
Don't really know. That's it. That's all I remember. That's all. What do you take away, Frank? That's it. That's right.
That's all I got.
Moving on.
Number three.
There's so much speculation about Texas quarterback Arch Manning's future in the media and even within his own family, and it can be hard to keep up. On Tuesday, Manning insisted he is not plotting out how long he will stay at Texas or whether or not he will enter the NFL draft, despite his grandfather's recent prediction to Texas Monthly Magazine that he will be with the Longhorns through the 2026 season. I don't know where he got that from, Arch Manning said in his first meetings with reporters since SEC Media Day. He texted me to apologize about that. I'm really just taking it day by day right now. Is Arch Manning going to be a Longhorn after this year?
I don't see why not. Unless
Starting quarterback on a good program
he's in a well, yeah. It's not like
with no one coming after him.
he doesn't need the money.
It's
right?
also a program with lineage of getting people to the NFL.
It's also another program that can give you a ton of NIL money. So it's not like he's going to transfer to go somewhere else. He's going to stay there. Unless he's just awful, which I don't think will be the case. And if he's just awful, then he'll go somewhere else. But I don't imagine that being the case. The only way Arch Manning does not stay at Texas is if he just doesn't play well and he gets beat out and then there's no starting spot for him. That's the only way I see that ending in him not being a Longhorn.
We don't have enough time to get to this one, but I do want to get your take on what Urban Meyer said about the Michigan penalties for their stuff.
I'd love. We need to talk about.
Yeah,
that.
I want to discuss that with you on the other side of the break.
Urban Meyer and how fake that guy is. We'll talk about that when we come back as we start the noon lunchtime hour. Rod, what's for lunch, buddy? Let us know. Braden Surprenant Show rolls on.
San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime year.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
Noon lunchtime hour on 97 through the Fan is brought to you by the Craft Taco. Bold flavors at 2 locations, Sorrento Valley and inside Balboa Park's Natural History Museum. I could use some tacos today.
Could you?
Let me tell you.
Could you now?
I could use a lot of stuff today. It's been a long couple of days.
It certainly has, buddy.
It has. It's been a long couple of days. But we flush it every day to hopefully put on a great show for you guys. So, despite that, I would love to yell at Urban Meyer, please.
I don't think you're going to yell at Urban Meyer.
What's that meme
on this?
That unfortunate feeling when the person you dislike makes a good point or
right.
something like that is right.
So,
all right, let me see. Let me see if I can give him the benefit of the doubt. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, Frank.
This was written by Brad Crawford on CBS Sports.
Okay.
Written yesterday. The dust finally settled on the NCAA's lengthy investigation into Michigan's sign-stealing operation, with significant penalties being levied against the Wolverines and coach Sharon Moore and former coach Jim Harbaugh. However, former Ohio State coach Urban Meyer says that the multiple show cause, a $20 million fine, and a multi-game coaching suspension for Moore fall flat when considering what he faced as a first-year Buckeyes coach in 2012 after violations left in the wake of Jim Tressel and the previous staff. Meyer said, quote, "In December of 2011, I had to stand in front of a group of seniors and tell them that they were not allowed to play in a bowl game or championship game in their final year of college football for something they had nothing to do with. One of the most difficult things I have ever done. The same group went 12-0 and were unable to play for the national championship of college football. The recent NCAA ruling to not punish players that weren't involved is correct. However, this ruling also proves that the NCAA as an enforcement arm no longer exists." Urban Meyer's comment came in part as a tease for the upcoming episode of his podcast, with more context likely to follow upon its release.
All right, so in 2011, Ohio State had that Terrell Pryor thing, right? Terrell Pryor, Devier Posey, Mike Adams, Solomon Thomas, Boom Huron were suspended by the NCAA for the first 5 games for receiving improper benefits from the owner of a tattoo parlor, right? That was the tattoo scandal.
I believe so, yes.
However, the players were allowed to participate in the upcoming Sugar Bowl game against Arkansas. Suspensions resulted in an incident where the players received tattoos for autographs. The players also sold several items given to them by the university, including Big Ten championship rings, jerseys, and other football-related awards for tattoos.
Yep.
Jim Tressel denied any involvement and knowledge of the players committing these violations. And then since then, they made them ineligible for the postseason for the next year.
Vacating all of their 2010 wins, a refund of bowl revenue, and 2 years probation.
Right. It said Ohio State played ineligible players. Ohio State players ineligible. What? I don't even know. I'm trying to read what Jake's saying on there, but anyway. So I get the understanding to an extent, right? So he said it was, I am not a fan of punishing the future teams for something the previous teams did and the ones that did the actions not getting punished.
Correct.
Okay, and that's the situation here with Michigan too, right? This is Harbaugh's deal. that he's been in trouble for. So at the same time, like, why would the current players and players in high school suffer going to Michigan more than what happened, or more than the players that were actually, or the parties to be that were involved in said scandal? It's the same thing with USC, like the whole Reggie Bush thing. That completely impacted USC for the future. But it's the parties to be at the same time. Like, Reggie Bush lost his Heisman. Okay, so he was punished in a way. He was like banned from college football-ish and USC-ish. Okay? That was where Pete Carroll was like, oh, I'm going to go try the NFL again. Yeah, okay, dude. Sure you are, Pete. Now I'm sure now's the best time to do that, Pete. Go to the Seahawks. So happens that you're about to get punished for a bunch of BS that you guys did. But you know what?
What a coinky-dink.
Yeah, what a coincidence. So from that perspective, yes, like punishing future players at a school for things that they didn't do is a joke. Okay, so I understand that. So that part of the deal with the Ohio State thing, again, I'm just kind of talking about it. These were the official. The NCAA issued sanctions against Ohio State. Ohio State was forced to vacate all the wins from the 2010 season, including the Sugar Bowl. They were issued a postseason ban for the 2012 season, 2 years of NCAA probation, and a 5-year show cause for Jim Tressel, and a reduction of 5 scholarships over 3 years. Like, the scholarship thing is a little ridiculous. Not the next season being ineligible when they don't have the players on the team anymore, and I can't remember how many of those players stayed the next year. Also ridiculous. Okay, but here's the thing that's interesting, though. So Michigan didn't get those kind of penalties, right?
No, they didn't.
They didn't get those kind of penalties. So as angry as Urban Meyer is, like, well, it happened to us, and it's unfair that it happened to us, wouldn't you be like,
yeah, where's the consistency
happier?
here?
Like, oh, well, you know what? They changed. They are not punishing the future student athletes.
No, and he did. He said that. He said, while not punishing the kids for something they didn't do is right, it shows that they no longer have the enforcement that they used to have. The NCAA no longer has the enforcement that they used to have.
They have zero enforcement. I mean, what's honestly stopping any team or school from really listening to them?
Nothing.
They'll just sue them in court and they'll win. That's what Tennessee did with the NIL stuff, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
There was something to do with NIL with, like, their state said this and they said they won.
It was the state versus,
right. They're going to win. Most judges now don't even like the NCAA anyway. I mean, they're going to win. Any lawsuit against the NCAA is going to be won by the party that is suing the NCAA. They have zero jurisdiction anywhere. So now it comes to something that they needed for a long time. And it's got to be college football separate from everything else. And the NCAA probably still has a lot of rank over the other sports because the other sports do not have and schools are not suing the NCAA for the track team. I'm sorry.
No, and Vapors in the chat, correct. It is supposed to be a punishment, and that's what Urban Meyer is saying. It's the punishment should not be on the kids that had nothing to do with what was going on. The punishment should be on the university and the coach and the people who were involved in committing these violations, which was not the case here with Michigan, at least to the level that they were with Jim Tressel's Ohio State.
It's just why I still can't believe people like Jim Harbaugh. I just, how can you look at the situation and be like, God, Jim Harbaugh is such a great guy?
No.
I don't know how you could do that. People say it all the time. People I respect go like, he's such a great guy and a great. What are you talking about? It's the same thing Pete Carroll did. Jim Harbaugh's like, well, you know what? It's time to go back to the NFL. It's a great opportunity. Not the fact that you're facing a 10-year show cause, right? 10-year show cause on top of the 5-year show cause that you already got issued for all the other stuff that you did. He's not getting punished at all.
No.
He's not getting punished at all. And he's the guy that did everything. These coaches, it's like going to cheat. They break the rules. They get their trophy. It wasn't vacated. He got the money he needed. He moved on. He gets no punishment. Same thing with Pete Carroll. That's why I find it hilarious that people think these guys are great guys. They're not.
Oh, and
how can you look at that and be like, That's a great that's a great man.
No, and go Aztecs in the chat saying Urban Meyer's not a great guy.
No,
either.
he's not.
Right.
He's
not.
also just terrible.
We're saying he just happens to be correct on this particular instance.
Isn't it funny how that works? He's calling out the other people for being like him.
Well, I mean, if you've done it, you know it when you see
That's
it,
right.
I guess is kind of the deal.
Right? It's just don't punish the kids. And you know what? Michigan's current players are not getting punished, which to me is fine.
Yeah, exactly. It should be the school should there should be a major financial penalty to the school because that's really all you can do.
Right.
Because, I mean, keeping these kids who did nothing wrong out of a bowl game, not great. Take bowl revenue from Michigan, that's fine. Financial penalties, anyone who's still lingering from that staff gets suspended or fined. But you can't, that's the penalty, basically what his overarching issue with this is that the penalties to Michigan itself were not substantial enough, which they weren't.
It needs to be something. It needs to be something that just cripples a school. Because otherwise, they basically just wrote a $20 million check for a national championship.
Yes.
And they're like, okay. Oh, we get to keep the trophy too? Oh, all right. Sweet. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, our bad. Sorry about that. That's what it sounds like. It's basically what it was. I mean, they only lost one game in 2 years. But still. Why other schools like, I looked up the punishment of the Ohio State thing, right? And it's this criticism of sanctions is on this page. And they go like, these sanctions have been criticized by college football writers, and there have been calls for the NCAA to reinstate the Buckeyes wins due to new NIL rules. Now, then what's the point of any of the rules then? There's no incentive to follow the rules because there's no punishment for breaking the rules. Why would anybody follow the rules? And if there's no punishment for breaking the rules, there are no rules in the first place.
And you also can't go back and retroactively change a punishment based off of the current set of rules.
I know.
You can't do that either. You can't do that either.
And all these schools that did it just write a check, write the check of the punishment, collect their trophy, and go, all right, our bad. And you know what? Nobody even questions it.
Again,
it's not like the steroid thing in baseball. It's like none of it's tainted. People forget about the tainted championships.
Again, Jake Waters in the chat. Ohio State wrote the same check. Listen to the words that we're using. We're not saying that Ohio State was better. We're saying that Urban Meyer is saying that the penalty that Michigan got was not substantial enough as compared to what they got back in 2010. That is all we're saying. We're not saying one is better than the other. We're just saying we're relaying what Urban Meyer's point is, which is they did not crack down on Michigan hard enough.
They didn't. Absolutely not. I mean, it's funny, like the punishments that certain schools get. What was like North Carolina had like fake classes for some of their players, and it was just kind of like, oh yeah, I guess that's bad. Yeah, don't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
There's the NCAA has
wasn't it
power.
Wasn't it North Carolina football that just had players sign up for Swahili, never attend, and got an A?
Yeah, they'd sign up for just random classes and they would get the A. And it's like, and like everybody's doing this. Meanwhile, if a school in the Mountain West did it, they'd just be getting the death penalty. They pick and choose who they want to punish.
SMU got it. SMU got the death penalty.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, for the cars and all that fun stuff. I just, at this point in time, the organizations that follow the rules just do it because they want to have integrity, and the ones that don't really care, whatever it takes to win a championship. And unfortunately, in our society nowadays, winning a championship is more than having any type of integrity as a human being.
You can very easily tell the universities, whether it be in the Big Ten,
any
Big
conference.
12, SEC, ACC, you can tell the schools that are too big to fail, no matter what sanctions or penalties are put on them. And I will hold my hand up and say that Penn State is one of those. You can put whatever sanctions you want on Penn State. They might have a down year recruiting, but with boosters and all that, push from the conference, they will be right back to where they were.
Right. And the thing
you
is,
saw it with Joe Paterno and
Right.
and Sandusky. They had a couple bad years, but within 10 years, they're right back up in the top 10.
And the thing is everybody's going to always defend their school that they root for, and why
Yes.
it's not as bad as what the other schools did. But the reality is it's all bad, and there's no rules. So
the schools that are too big to fail will continually do this. The schools that are not too big to fail will not do this.
100%. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. I haven't gotten to, and the thing is, I know all the dirt in the high school realm. Oh, it's even worse. It's even worse. You don't want to get me started on that stuff, especially from a lot of public schools that like to run their mouth about like, oh, look at it. Everybody's got special rules, dude. Everybody's got special rules. I will call you out on your BS if you bring up said special rules. Which World Series win would mean the most to baseball? We'll talk about that when we come back. This hour 970 The Fan is also brought to you by the grilling store at Hillcrest Ace Hardware on University Avenue in Hillcrest. Get the popular Weber Traveler portable gas grill for as low as $349. Perfect for the beach, tailgating, or anytime. The grilling store at Hillcrest Ace Hardware, where service still matters. The camera followed Frank out of the building. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, I'm here. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, we talked about, I teased this going into break. Which World Series win would mean the most to baseball was put out today on MLB.com. And they basically talked about how winning the World Series is always a big deal. But when long-suffering franchises finally break through, it transforms not just the team, but the entire fan base and really the entire city. In 2025, several contenders fit that description. Teams for whom a title would be life-changing for generations of fans. I think a lot of people here immediately understand that the Padres are definitely part of that conversation. Last title, none. And we'll talk about the Padres in just a second. Out of the teams that are contending right now, and the 5 that would be life-changing in terms of World Series championships, 3 of them have never won a championship. 1 of them has never been to a World Series. And the other 2 have not won since 1984, we know who that is, and 1993. So Major League Baseball has picked 5 teams that would be life-changing for their fans if they won a World Series this year. Let's start with Toronto. They last won in 1993. They have a shot because they swept the Yankees in late June to take over first place in the American League East. Haven't looked back. Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s delivered after signing an extension. Bo Bichette has bounced back. Role players like Davis Schneider and Addison Barger have stepped up. Why does it matter to Toronto? They nearly blew it up. They almost blew up the entire team last year. Doubled down instead, and now they're right there in contention for a World Series. A title would validate that gamble and erase nearly 3 decades of frustration since the Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion era fizzled. Fans are obviously starving for playoff success. They haven't even won a postseason game since 2016. Joey Bats with that big knock. And we talked to Dan Schulman about that earlier in the season. It's kind of the thing. I mean, think about the difference that it's been for Toronto since we've talked to Dan Schulman. I mean, it was not looking great for the Blue Jays. They were just kind of struggling, hanging around. Makes a lot of sense. All of a sudden, they've flipped it. That's one of the teams. The other one, Milwaukee, they've never won a title. They won the AL pennant in 1982. It's the only time that they've won a pennant. They got a shot because they're playing at a historic clip right now. They're winning with depth, balance, rather than just one superstar. That explains a lot, especially from us that continue to look at the Brewers. You're like, how are they winning? Everybody on their team contributes. Isaac Collins, Caleb Durbin, Blake Perkins, Andrew Vaughn, et cetera, et cetera. Why does it matter to Milwaukee? Brewers are perennial contenders, but still titleless despite years of playoff berths. With Bob Uecker's passing this year, the emotional stakes are even higher. This feels like a storybook season for Milwaukee. Seattle has never reached the World Series. They've never been there. In fact, had one of the most games in a regular season. Still didn't make it. Why do they have a shot? Well, Julio Rodriguez continues to shine. Cal Raleigh has emerged as a surprise superstar, chasing a home run record. Randy Arozarena, now Eugenio Suarez, deepening the lineup, combined with elite pitching. Seattle, finally, kind of a complete team, but they are now losing 5-2 in the bottom of the 7th to Philly, trying to fend off being swept. Now, why would it matter for Seattle? The Mariners remain MLB's only team to never appear in a World Series. The fan base has endured decades of heartbreak since their 2001 116-win season went nowhere. Winning in the same year Ichiro entered the Hall of Fame? Hey, maybe so. Detroit Tigers haven't won since they beat the Padres in 1984. Why do they have a shot? Well, last year's wild card dash, just kind of a warm-up. They have arguably one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, in Tariq Skubal, and he has emerged as the Cy Young frontrunner in the American League. Young bats like Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter have all blossomed, and they've finally stabilized the American League Central. Javi Baez has had a great year for Detroit as well. Why would it matter? Well, Detroit's proud baseball town suffered through brutal seasons. Alongside the Lions and Red Wings' resurgence, the Tigers' title would cement the city's sports revival. Fans have waited 40 years. This would be a renaissance moment for Detroit. How about the San Diego Padres? Why would it be important to the Padres? Why would that be the World Series win that would mean the most to Major League Baseball? We have to take a break soon, so I really want to talk about that on the other side. We do need to get a contestant for a midday sports standoff. If you could take me down to some sports trivia, you would be qualified for a grand prize, a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, plus VIP admission to AYU Day Club and $175 food and beverage credit. Celebrate summer with a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas. Dine poolside at one of the 5 unique pool experiences in the 5.5 acres pool complex, largest elevated pool deck on the Las Vegas Strip, and experience AYU Day Club, a stunning oasis inspired by the islands of Southeast Asia, where the ultimate party concepts transform the weekend into a never-ending summer. Special summer rates available now at rwlasvegas.com, now offering no resort fees and complimentary parking. We will do that when we come back, and the significance of what San Diego would be if they happen to make the World Series or potentially win it. We'll talk about that to finish up the noon hour on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Number Sports Station 97 through the Fan. 12:33 on a Wednesday. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Kind of got into this a little bit during the break. Everybody was so concerned about you, Frank. The camera followed you out. And they're like,
Yeah, I
he
saw
on.
that.
Somebody asked if he got fouled out.
I did, actually.
Guy fouled himself out. You know who got fouled out was the board. The board got fouled out.
Yes. I don't think the board fouled out. I think the board just quit.
Who was that player? It was that player that at halftime that just
Antonio
quit.
Brown.
No, before that,
Oh.
the corners is like, I'm done. He's retired.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. He's for the Bills. I thought he just walked off the field
I don't remember
during the
that.
break, and they're like, "Oh, he has retired. He's just not playing anymore." That's the board today.
I remember I was at
Frank
at
Borak.
CBS. Oh God. I remember I was working the night that working at CBS the night Andrew Luck retired, like immediately after that preseason game.
Yeah, that was wild too. You don't you just assume these guys want to play as long as possible, but eventually it's how much money?
It's just that moment
Do I
hits you where
need?
it's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good.
How much money do I need? And do I need to keep taking hits?
Mm-hmm.
It's a brutal sport. It's a violent sport.
I don't even think he played that night either.
I don't think so.
That was the thing about it. It was I think Andrew Luck was just on the sidelines that night. Didn't even play. He walked off and said, "Yeah, I think calling it here, Chief."
So, anyway, people were worried about you. Frank's back, though. All right. We were talking about which World Series win would mean the most to baseball. Brewers, Mariners, Blue Jays, Tigers, or the Padres. We haven't gotten to the Padres yet. They have never won a title. MLB.com laid out why the Padres have a shot. General manager A.J. Preller keeps pushing chips in, acquiring stars, and building a stacked roster. The rotation, bullpen, and lineup are all playoff ready. Petco Park has been rocking with sellout crowds. Why would it matter? Padres fans have lived in the Dodgers' shadow for decades. They've invested emotionally and financially, ownership spending big, and are desperate for that breakthrough moment. Taking down L.A. en route to a first championship would be seismic. I think it's more than just the Padres. I think it's the Padres organization, of course, but I also think it's San Diego in general. I mean, what would it mean to a city like San Diego who's never won a championship to win their first championship in sports? And that's the thing. You are a town that's never won one before, let alone the organization. The organization's never won one either, but the town's never won anything in the major professional sports scene. The only one that has won something at the major professional sports scene was the Chargers when they won an AFL championship in the 60s. They destroyed the Boston Patriots over there at Balboa Stadium. That is it. There's been nothing else. Sure, they've had some San Diego Soccer's championships. Sure, some of the minor league teams have done really well. Some of the college teams have done okay, right? I think there's a handful of older national championships, but at the same time, at the highest level, San Diego has nothing. They've never won anything. We as a city have never won anything in the sports world. I think that goes a long way. I mean, look at the teams that they mentioned on this article, right? The Toronto Blue Jays, they've won a World Series. Their last title win was 1993. The Milwaukee Brewers, the state of Wisconsin has won. They have had success. Their NFL team, which doesn't play in Milwaukee, but Green Bay, the Packers have won the Super Bowl. Seattle has never won a title in baseball, but the Seahawks have in the National Football League. The Detroit Tigers haven't won since 1984, but they have still won a championship. San Diego on that list has never won a championship. The city of San Diego. And so to me, not only does that trump the other four, but it also goes in line with what a big moment it would be in professional sports to see a city like that win their first championship. And by the way, the San Diego's got two opportunities right now with the MLS. If you want to consider it a major championship, San Diego FC is at the top of the leaderboard right now. They got major opportunities.
The MLS is a major sports championship.
If you would like to consider it that, then yes. It would be right there in the thick of things. So you have an opportunity to potentially win two in 1 year. That'd be something. But like I look at and like you picture what it could potentially be, and you picture the future of what it could be. And there's a lot of great things about it, right? Like, what is the parade going to be like? What is downtown going to be like the night they win the game, like win the final game to clinch a World Series? But until they get to that point, it's still just kind of a dream. You're just thinking about your future, what your future could potentially be like with the championship. And then you get the heartbreak, every time when those dreams shatter when you don't make it through. But I think San Diego's, eventually, I hope it's the case. Like Brandon and Carlsbad said, he's 47. He'd like to have it sooner rather than later. And there's a lot of places that have never, won, and then they finally did. And then they finally broke through, as Chris Ello mentioned on a roundtable not too long ago. But the Padres have a great chance. That's what made last weekend so frustrating for Padres fans is that you're close. And you could get to the finish line this year. And you have the team to do it. So in terms of which World Series win would mean the most to baseball, I know for the city of San Diego, it means a lot more with the Padres winning. But out of that group, I would probably still think the Padres winning a World Series would be great for baseball. Because of, now, TV rating-wise, who knows? But at the same time, it gives organizations the blueprint of, if you build it, they will come. If you spend the money, you could get to that spot. A small market team. As much as we've seen the Padres spend money, they are still a small market team. Absolutely still a small market team. And that has nothing to do with the city. It just has to side with the market size. We've talked about this before. Pacific Ocean to the west, desert to the east, international port to the south, and a major city to the north. Out of those 5 teams, Frank, what's the most important World Series win to baseball, not just us here in San Diego?
I think it would be the Padres.
I think it would.
As far as what this city has become for the entertainment value of going to one of these games here, I think this would definitely be the most meaningful. You could say the old heads might say the Tigers, Seattle winning one, the Brewers really mean nothing. Toronto getting their first win since they're back-to-back in 92 and 93, that could probably be that would be a marketable thing for baseball to work around. But for what San Diego has done for its baseball team here, I think that would be the most meaningful to baseball.
I think so too. And I don't think we're just blowing smoke being here in San Diego. Think about even all the teams in Major League Baseball. Those are just the teams that are currently competing. But you look at all the teams in Major League Baseball, is there a team that would be better for MLB to win the World Series than the Padres?
You could
the Nationals in 2019.
You could say Cleveland because they're the new Cubs now. They've had the longest drought.
Just like Chicago winning in 2016 was great for baseball.
Yes, you can make the argument that Cleveland would be the best, but out of these 5, I think it would be San Diego.
I think it'd be San Diego. I think the next best, as Frank mentioned, would be Cleveland. Is there anybody else on there? Baltimore, maybe? Not really. I'm looking at some teams here, like if they won the World Series, like would it be a big deal for like changing baseball?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
No. And
just trying to run through. You could make the argument of the Mets buying a World Series ring could change because it would get other top level teams to spend more because that's what they did and that's how they won it. But other than that, no, I don't think Seattle isn't ingrained in the baseball history. Milwaukee's kind of meh.
I think also the other sports too, like just with the cities, it's going to be an even bigger deal after the fact in a city that has never won something.
Yeah.
Look at there's not enough. There's not a lot of teams like the Padres in that sense. Good team in a small market that spent money more than they probably could afford at the time. That is in a city that has never won a major sports championship. And they're going after it as a small market team to try to get a championship for their city. There's no other team like that in Major League Baseball. It's unique. And the other thing, too, like, you look at like
Pittsburgh's won, though.
Yeah, they've won in the past, plus the Steelers had won. You know, that's a city that has won before. The Penguins just won not too long ago. You know, Milwaukee has, Green Bay Packers are in the area, in town.
And even teams that you would think, like San Francisco winning would be big for baseball, but they've won recently.
They won 3 in 5 years.
Yeah, they've won recently. Same thing with St. Louis. They've won recently.
Colorado winning, I think, would be interesting. But they're just so far behind now, it's just never going to happen. But like Arizona's already won as an expansion team. I think Tampa Bay probably would be good for baseball.
Be bad for St. Pete.
Be bad for St. Pete.
They'd have to cough up some money for a ballpark.
But Tampa Bay, if they weren't, from everything that the city goes through and everything like that, Tampa Bay is interesting, I think, as well.
I would say Cleveland. I put them in order. I would say Cleveland, San Diego, and then Tampa for you, for your point. Okay. I would say, again, Cleveland because they are the team with the longest drought.
Yeah. Somebody goes, what about the San Diego Sockers? And that's not a major professional sport. It's not.
Is that Craig that just texted you?
I don't know. It's not, no, somebody left us a voicemail. I mean, that's the other thing, too. It's like the mentality needs to be, this is like major championships. The city has none. Indoor soccer is not a major professional sport. Arena football is not a major professional sport. Rugby is not a major professional sport in the United States.
No, you're talking...
AHL hockey is not a major professional sport in the United States. I mean, we're talking about the Big Four. And if you want to include the MLS, or do you think it's fine, the Big Five?
You should include the MLS.
That's it. But I still think the MLS is below the other four in terms of championships.
It absolutely is, but it is a major.
We're talking.
It's a major sport.
NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, right? MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS. Those are it. Those are it. That's all other towns care about, right? Like, I always view it when viewing championships. When you're talking smack with a fan from another city, what type of clout are you going to have dropping said championship, right? Like, are you going up to somebody that lives in Boston who's won a lot of championships, right? Since 2000. Boston's won a lot of championships. You're not going up there and be like, well, the San Diego Sockers won 10 straight championships in the indoor soccer league. Nobody's saying that.
San Diego Seals went to the finals. We're not doing
No. What's the Boston guy going to do? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, who?
He's going to laugh at you. He's going to laugh at you. Think about that. You can't even really, shove an AFL championship in anybody's face because it still didn't count as a world championship.
And the team that won it's gone now.
Yeah, and they're not even here anymore. That was the only major championship you've won. 1963 AFL championship against the Boston Patriots, which was played at a place that now hosts San Diego High football. I mean, that's it. That's it. But again, you're talking to a city that's got sports championships. You're like, man, this Dodger fan's annoying. What are you going to shove in their face? A World Series title? Yeah, absolutely. What are you not going to shove in their face? Indoor lacrosse? Indoor soccer? Professional volleyball? Come on. It's time to stop thinking small, San Diego. Start thinking big. Big picture. Big picture. But it's just like, and it's no disrespect to those organizations. We love having them in town. It's great sports. I love having as many sports teams in town as possible. But you're talking about major professional championships. And San Diego doesn't have any. That's why like last weekend was so important. That's why fans get emotional. They're craving just one. Like to have more, but just one. That first one. Like, what is that first one going to taste like? I have never seen any of my professional sports teams win a championship. I've never seen any of my major sports teams win a championship. The only time I've seen any team that I have rooted for win a championship is when I was an Arizona Wildcat fan growing up, the 2010, 2011, or is it 2012 College World Series. The only time I've seen one of my teams win a championship. That's it. I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't even know like how the offseason would be. Let's say the Padres win the World Series. What do we do in the offseason? Like, what do you talk about? Like, I'd just be like, oh, we won. Who cares? Oh, free agents. We won the World Series. Who cares how much money you've spent? Like, the next year, like, defending a time. You've been so close to, like, getting your hands on it that when you finally do, I feel like there's going to be this, what do we do with this now? We've accomplished our goal. What do we do with this now? I can't believe this.
It's like me with the Western Mail Supply Building Cup.
Yeah. He finally got it, and he didn't know what to do with it. Interesting. I just, how it, like, what does that feel like? I mean, think about that for a second. What it would be like to get the first championship. That's why I think it's for baseball, the Padres are definitely the number one on that list. By far. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Dexter in Spring Valley, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Dexter?
Okay, I want to cover a little bit wider ground here for a sec. Frankie, I'm a little surprised that you didn't mention this. San Diego has 7 major professional championships. In NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson.
Oh yeah, you got that
7-time.
Yeah, true.
That's an individual. That's an individual award. That's not a team sport. It's an individual award.
Well,
you got a lot of Dexter. You got a lot of famous athletes, man, that are from San Diego that have championships. They don't count for your city. That counts for Jimmy Johnson.
But that technically he does have a team. The guys who maintain his car and everything. But having said that, I wanted to bring
that team based in San Diego? It's not. So, I mean,
that is true.
Semantics, dude. I mean, that's an individual award. It's not a team sport. His car didn't say San Diego on it. That was not a San Diego championship. That was a Jimmy Johnson championship. And we're proud of Jimmy. We're proud of all the San Diego athletes that go win championships, but it wasn't for San Diego.
Okay, I got that. But let me toss this at you. Okay, and both of you guys haven't followed the Padres as long as a lot of us, because age or whatever. But everybody's been singing the praises of Randy Vasquez. Okay, he's a good pitcher. But the thing is, for those of us who've been following the Padres for a super long time, I believe that Randy Vasquez is Eric Shaw 2.0. Eric Shaw was a really good pitcher, but his problem was he gave up a lot of runs and had to work out from under. And that's what Vasquez, the last time he pitched, that's what happened. He gave up the big runs and he had to work from under. He was playing catch up. And I think that, look what happened to Eric Shaw. Once he left the Padres, he became the invisible man. Unfortunately, he also took his own life later, but that's neither here nor there. It's the fact that we look at like his stats and everything and go, he was a good pitcher. We look at Randy Vasquez's stats, he's a good pitcher. Problem is, we also forget that most of the time he gets those stats after he gives up the lead or he puts himself underwater, and he has to play catch up. So for me, I think that he should have been one of the pitchers that we traded instead of the one of those 2 kids that we gave away, because honestly, at the time he had a higher sell value, and also we would still have one of those kids with us. And who knows? They could be they're starters. It would help us. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not a bad comparison, Dexter. Appreciate the phone call. I guess you could have traded Vasquez and kept Burgert or Kolek. At least with Vasquez, you know what you were going to get. He'd pitch the most out of all the guys. I get what Dexter's saying on the Jimmy Johnson thing, but it's a team. We're talking about a team sport representing San Diego at a major level. Yes, NASCAR is a team sport, but those guys aren't wearing outfits that say San Diego on them. Unless I'm wrong. Did I miss that? Did I miss the San Diego on the car? It said Lowe's. It said Lowe's on the car.
And at the very end,
Hendrick
it said Ally.
Motorsports. Hendrick Motorsports won 7 championships. Was he with them the entire time, Frank?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Hendrick Motorsports, based out of North Carolina, won 7 champions. So, anyway. Yeah, Xander Schauffele. Hey, Schauffele's won. Right? Xander Schauffele's won. Does that count? Somebody put in the chat, Cole Hamels won a World Series. Hey, you know what? Good for Cole. It's not a San Diego championship. It's not. Kawhi Leonard. Hey, he won. Does that count? No, it doesn't. Padres got to go get it done. Be nice. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Final hour of the Braden Surprenant Show. When we come back, oh, man, the Phillies are destroying Seattle. We'll give you a score update on that and other games that affect the Padres when we come back. Final hour of the Braden Surprenant Show on a Wednesday. Now, tomorrow, people were asking, unfortunately for us, Frank, I got good news and bad news.
Okay.
Do you want the good news first or the bad news first?
Oh, I love.
Frank's like, I hate getting asked that question.
It's usually both bad news, so let's go.
No, we got good news.
No, I'm just saying.
Too.
No, I'm just saying. With me, it's usually two.
Do you want
things
the
of
bad news or the
we'll
worst news?
We'll get the bad news first.
Okay.
We'll get the bad news out of the way first.
The bad news, Frank. Get your soundboard ready.
Okay.
We will not be at the loft tomorrow.
He draws the foul.
It's a foul?
Yeah, it's a foul.
You don't have any like depressing
No, I don't. Not at least on ours, and I'm not.
I don't.
I'm too depressed to go looking through all the other ones.
Okay. Sad face.
We got a foul for not being at the loft.
No loft. Rod was, I'm sorry, Rod. He's asking about it. I like seeing Rod and Nate at the loft every Wednesday or Thursday, I guess. Day games. The day game guys. But we won't be there tomorrow.
Nope, we won't.
We have the round table tomorrow. That's good news.
Yeah, we do.
Good news,
Yep.
right? Get some round table pizza. And Frank,
Yes.
we only have an hour show tomorrow.
You mean I get to sleep? You mean I get to
What are you gonna do? Sleep, drive into work, do an hour, and then go home and sleep again?
No, I get to go to bed early tonight instead of, waiting as long as possible to get as much stuff as I possibly can to prep for the show tomorrow.
And Thursdays are our days that we're usually jam-packed during
And
the
I
football season.
And I only have to prep 1 hour?
Yeah.
No way.
So you got I'll be for the round table for sure.
Yes,
But
you will be.
I'll
I
just
wouldn't
I'll
mind
just let
doing the
everybody-
round table once in a while.
Yeah. Why not? Get yourself some pizza or some wings. Are you a wings guy? Did we talk about this?
I'm more of a
bone-in or boneless, big dog?
I'm a boneless guy.
I don't mind, but I'd rather, if I had to pick, I'd do the boneless wings.
Because I hesitated on that because the first thing I would usually get is boneless wings or chicken nuggets, dude. That's usually what I get.
You know what? And I don't care.
Exactly.
Chicken nuggets with sauce. Doesn't Wendy's have like saucy nugs or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You know what? It's easier. I can eat with a fork. I don't get my hands messy.
And there's also I don't like bone-in chicken because I always have that vision of me biting into the bone and it freaking me out. I hate it.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't mind bone-in wings. If you have to have bone-in wings, are you flats or drums, or do you care?
Drums because there's less little bits in it.
Less little bones?
Yeah.
Can you just... Have you seen the people break it? Like the flats, and then they just wipe the chicken off? I can't do that.
But I've seen recently the people grab the fat part of a drumstick and smack the bone through it and then just pull the whole thing of meat off.
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
Yeah. They'll grab it, then smack the thin end and then just pull the bone out.
Yeah. So I split wings the other day with one of my friends, and she said she can only have the flats. And so I got stuck with the drums. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. If I had to pick, it'd probably be flats, but I don't really care. You put a plate of wings in front of me that have the flavor that I like. If they're bone in or boneless, flats, drums, I don't really care. I'll probably eat them. What's your wing flavor choice? Or do you do the naked wing?
I usually do barbecue wings, if anything.
Barbecue?
But
I'm not a big barbecue sauce fan.
Frankie Watkins in the chat. No, we're not saying that. That's usually the response I get is that, boneless wings are just chicken nuggets.
He could be arguing with somebody else because there's somebody else in there that was calling us soft for eating the boneless wings, which I would prefer. It's just way easier to eat.
Exactly. I don't need to worry about biting around a bone. I just throw the whole thing in my mouth and boom,
understand they're chicken nuggets. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I would prefer the boneless. I think it's easier to eat. It's just easier. It's convenience.
I'm a nugget guy. What do you want to say?
Big nugget guy over there.
Well,
Denver nugget guy?
Was a big nugget guy. Was a big nugget guy.
Yeah,
now I'm a
skinny nugget guy.
Now I'm a moderate amount of nugget guy.
Moderate amount nugget guy. All right, so you go barbecue. Is that always the case?
More or less, yeah. I like barbecue sauce over hot sauce.
I'd rather. Well, you don't like spicy, so
no. No,
It makes a lot of sense. Mild or medium is fine with me. I realize it's like with the sauce, it's basically just how much sauce they put on it. It's not like they're like adding too much more spice to it.
Yeah.
So I get that. I
Yeah, they
usually go
have
with the
to-
mild
they-
because I don't need a ton on there. I could go with the medium. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. A garlic parm, kind of my
Attaboy.
move.
Okay.
Garlic parm is always the move if they got it.
Not bad.
I did have, since we haven't talked about food in a long time. People are like, we've done this chat before. We did it with Adam. Adam's a huge wings guy.
Cole Brooks, great. Now I have to go to B-Dubs.
You can go to Wings and Things too.
Yeah, that's another one.
There's a lot of wings places. Wing Stop.
It's where you stop for the wings, right?
Yeah, you ever been to Wing Stop?
I have.
Wing Stop's great.
This is a perfect conversation because it is a wingy Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It's
Yes.
a wingy Wednesday.
We're actually talking about wings on a Wednesday. Anyway, we talked about this with Adam before you joined the show, and
Yes.
Adam is a super wing guy. In fact, I'm pretty sure he gets his own thing of wings for the round table.
Wouldn't surprise me the way he shoves a pizza in the back fridge.
Yeah, I was blaming the sales staff more times than not, but I think it might just be Adam. I think Adam just takes all of the food. He's got 3 kids, so he's got to keep the kids happy with round table pizza on Thursdays.
What was that chat I just saw? At Frank, please call my boss. He expects me to work while Braden and Frank talk sports and food. It sounds like you need a new boss, dude. Like that's
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem.
yeah, that sounds like a you problem, man.
Our boss encourages us to talk about food and sports and to watch this show while we do it. So the weekend, I didn't get to dabble in the Arby's. I am due for an Arby's trip because I've been influenced by Instagram on some Arby's stuff.
The Arby's strips are good. They
I'm
do
not
have a
talking about
little weird-
chicken though, dude.
Oh,
I'm
no,
talking
I'm
about
just
just in
saying.
general.
The only thing I will really ever get at Arby's is the mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella fiend over here.
I am.
Mott
They're
stick
good.
Fiend. Mott sticks at where was the other place that you get Mott sticks at?
White Castle.
White Castle and Arby's is where Frank gets his Mott sticks. Is up on court 42 against natural casing Frank. Organic casing on Frank's legs.
No, those are just for fast food mozzarella sticks. We usually get the box. Come on now.
Okay, I'm just saying.
We get the restaurant quality box.
Anyway, so the Arby's deal. My dad went on Friday. He hasn't been feeling that great as of late. Okay, so we were gonna go scout on Friday night as a staff. We decided only some of us did. I didn't. I went to watch the Padres-Dodgers game somewhere. But my dad went to he was influenced by my brother and I sending him the Instagram reels of Arby's. He loves Arby's. My dad grew up in East County. He loves Del Taco and Arby's. Apparently East County staples back in the 1980s. Okay, there's not a lot of Arby's around anymore.
No,
I mean, the
not.
closest one to me is over here in Claremont, or was it Balboa or Claremont? I think it's Claremont Mesa Boulevard. It's across from. I only go there when we play Madison and football. The other Arby's I know about is down the street from San Marcos High School. We don't play them anything, so I never get to go there. But he drove down after and got himself a beef and ched and a regular beef sandwich. Horsey sauce and the Arby's sauce is pretty good, not gonna lie. But I saw in the video on some guy rating the Arby's deal because I guess Arby's has been getting a lot of flack on social media. I guess Gen Z doesn't like the beef sandwiches. Anyway, moving on. The guy was rating the food and he had like a potato cake, which looked like a mini hash brown.
Yeah.
That inspired my dad ended up getting. He was like, "Oh, those are wonderful." So now I got to get Arby's. I'm due for an Arby's trip now. It's just whether or not I want to drive to Claremont to get the Arby's.
You know what else I do love from Arby's that they do is the orange creamsicle milkshake.
Do they really?
Yeah, during the summer.
You can make that at Starbucks.
So good. I'm not going to Starbucks.
I'm
dude.
just saying,
I'm at Arby's.
You could do it. I mean, you could do it at your house too. Vanilla ice cream and like orange juice, basically.
I could do it. Yeah.
That'd be kind of gross. I'd have to do something else.
I'm lazy.
So that was one thing that I did not have that I wanted to have. I did have on Saturday night, my buddy came over he's a big Wings and Things person. You know, we know the family, the Wings and Things family, the Russos, at least that side of the family we know, very nice people. Run a great establishment, Wings and Things. And we got the chicken fries.
Okay.
We each got chicken fries.
Mhm.
Oh my God. It's phenomenal. Just chopped up. It looks like chicken nuggets, but it's not. It's the strips chopped up on the fries with cheese and ranch and buffalo sauce. Delightful. Did I feel great the next morning?
Yes.
Not reporting on that, but you know what? As it was happening,
yes, I did.
It was great. It was great. So that kind of inspired the Wings talk there. Anyway, we used to have Wings and Things all the time for team meals.
Mhm.
So at Cathedral, we do for football, we make these kids do college level time commitment. But on Thursday nights, we have a team meal, and usually somebody hosts at their house, and we'll go to anybody's house, wherever they live, and you will host the entire football team of 70 to 80 kids, plus staff and managers and whatever. My junior, senior year, I think Wings and Things catered every time. It was either that or Taco Guy. That's like what the two deals were. Some people cook, which is great.
Have you seen the guys going around on TikTok now? I think they're on either TikTok or Instagram that they're going to every single taco shop in San Diego, rating the California burritos at each spot.
My buddy Mike wanted to do that in high school.
Well,
he was like, if I could, I'd go to every taco shop and rate the California burrito.
Well,
the problem is, it's like the health starts to get into a little bit of a factor. You have to be a certain age to do a lot of those things.
I think it's the whole Dave Portnoy pizza review deal where they only get like a bite or two and then done.
Everybody does that now.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought we should do that. But the thing with Mexican food for me is you start with a bean and cheese, because if you screw up a bean and cheese, you're going to screw up a lot of different things. You got to pass a lot of thresholds for me. You screw up a bean and cheese, I can't necessarily trust the carne asada. But then you got to try the carne, and then if that's good, then you got to go with the Cali B and see what they got.
I've never had Raising Cane's, Rod. I know where one is. I know there's one in Imperial Beach.
There's one in Mira Mesa. I'm not a huge fan. The thing is I had it in Texas before it came out here, and so sometimes I'd go. I'm not waiting in line it's just chicken strips. But I do know, and we've had this conversation before, you got to be the veteran and exchange the coleslaw for another slice of toast. I mean, that's just flat out. And every time we've mentioned Raising Cane's, Jocelyn's had to jump in and say how much it's overrated and how much she hates the sauce.
The other Cane's I know of is the Hurricanes Bar and Grill. That's the other one that's near us that I haven't been to either.
Hurricanes Bar and Grill?
Yeah.
Does it got a bunch of Miami stuff hanging out?
No, it's... hold on.
All right. Well, he's working on that. I've had enough people. We talk, and now I'm starving, and I was already hungry to start the day, and I was wondering what I was going to pick up for lunch on the way to football practice. I don't know what type of day it is, but now all of a sudden I don't want to drive out of my way for the food, though, to get to football practice.
It's Hurricane Grill and Wings. My bad.
Yeah. Jocelyn's like, it's because I have a middle schooler, and they all love it. Yeah, so do the high school kids. I have been here's the thing. I told one of our coaches, and we got to take a break. One of our coaches on staff, Ben, he asked kids this or that food options. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to need you to start sending that in to us so we could do it for our lunchtime
seriously.
hour.
Yes.
Just help us out. He had a cereal one the other day. What was the other? He had another one that was like, what did he say? I forget. Hopefully I remember during the break, because we got to take a break.
I'm not going to lie. These chicken wings and strips look amazing.
We got to get back on track.
Cane's.
You've never been to Cane's?
No,
we need to do a Cane's food review?
No, Hurricanes.
Oh,
the
Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes Wings and Grill. They look incredible.
Frankie Watkins, Braden's Burrito Bar, a meter measuring the quality of places from bean and cheese burritos on. Trademark it. Might have to. When we come back.
Incredible too.
All right.
Jesus, I'm done now.
Can you stop? We need to take a break, and everybody's got to go get a lunch break at this point. College football preview when we come back. This hour 97 to the fans brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. We are the Braden Surprenant Show. We are here each and every day till 2 o'clock, except for tomorrow. We are preempted by Padres baseball. What time's the Padre game tomorrow? 1:10?
It is a 1:10 first pitch. Yes.
1:10 start, which means the Equator SoCal Padres pregame show tomorrow is at 12:10, which means we are done at 12:04.
We're getting double preempted.
Get preempted
tomorrow.
at the front end and preempted at the back end. Only an hour show. And tomorrow's supposed to be, we have Eddie on and Skylar's supposed to make her debut. We're pushing a lot back to Friday, Frank.
Now we are. That just makes, you know what? Again, just makes it easier for me on Friday. That's all it does.
Honestly, these next two segments, you're like locked in. I mean, we got Skylar that we got to bring in studio for our week 0 picks. We're obviously picking all 5 of those games.
Okay.
Do you want me to pick the games for each week, or do you want to pick the games that we pick? We picked 10 for college football. We haven't discussed this really.
I'll let you go for it.
All right. Fair enough. Maybe you pick the bonus game or something.
Fair enough. We could do that.
You could be like the Bear from when he was on College Game Day. Just go to Bear.
Oh.
You have all the little inside
yeah.
betting knowledge on everything?
Yes. Gotcha.
All right. The queen of college football will join us Friday. We just got to let her know that she's coming on Friday.
She will be on.
She will be. Hopefully we can convince her to come in on Friday.
After we tell her.
After we tell her to show up. Yes, that will be on Friday. We'll have to get Eddie Brown on Friday. Drake Hill's on Friday. I mean, Friday's already packed, Frank.
And it's a Padre Dodgers
and the
Friday,
Padres are playing the Dodgers. Oh
which
man,
makes it even better or worse, depending upon.
True.
We got we had so much time and so little to talk about.
So, anyway, as much as this Wednesday has been different, Friday should be great, Frank.
Yes.
All right. Quick preview for the upcoming college football season that we'll get to here. Or do you want to talk? Yeah, we'll do that instead of the NFL thing. College football is back. New season loaded with storylines. Arch Manning finally starting at Texas. Oregon trying to make the next step. Arizona State turning heads on the national stage. Top 25. Let's go through it and highlight teams. Also, the West Coast should be keeping an eye on. Obviously, heavyweights at the top. Texas number 1. Arch Manning era begins. Huge week 1 test at Ohio State. Texas hasn't been preseason number 1 before. Can they handle the pressure of being number 1? Especially with Frank's Penn State Nittany Lions hanging out right number 2.
And playing number 3 Ohio State in week 1.
Correct. Penn State veteran quarterback Drew Aller. Great running back tandem. Have a good Fat Man Friday on Friday, Frank. Singleton. And a wide open Big Ten with Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon breaking in new quarterbacks. Clemson coming in near the top of the rankings. Cade Klubnik and Dabo Swinney have their best roster since 2020. Can Clemson finally get back to championship form? Interesting matchup early in the season with Texas and Ohio State. Not this weekend, but the following weekend. You got Arch Manning for Texas, and you got Julian Sayin for Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying.
The Carlsbad kid. How about that? You get to make your first start for Ohio State, and it's against Texas at home against Arch Manning. That would be pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Got a San Diego kid there. Now, if he wins, does San Diego get a major championship? A win over Texas?
Get a national championship. They can claim it.
I think so. If Ohio State wins with a San Diego player on the team. What's your take on Clemson, by the way?
Not as good as everyone thinks they are.
They are getting super hyped right now. Super overhyped right now. Clemson.
Here's the thing.
Dabo voted for him for his own team, I think, probably to be number 1.
Oh, really? Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought?
I got really down on Clemson just for Dabo being as annoying as he is.
Dabo's annoying.
Because when working in New York, when I had to cut all of the sound from everywhere, including this is when Clemson's perennially number 1. They're in the top 5 fight every single year. Dabo and Clemson would go into a press conference after beating Abilene Christian 55-3 We're like, yeah, they played a really tough game. We didn't overlook them, and they really came with everything that they had, and they really gave us a challenge. I'm like, bro, it was 55-3. They got the ball past midfield when you had your fifth stringers in. What are you saying?
Hey, man, Abilene Christian's good. TCU's got to play him this year.
That's when I started to get annoyed with Dabo.
Those are the heavyweights at the top. SEC storylines: Georgia, Alabama, LSU. Georgia comes in number 5 in the country. Alabama 8. LSU is where's LSU ranked? LSU's ranked 9th. Georgia got a new quarterback under Stockton. You saw a little bit of him last year in the playoff. Bigger question is, can they run the ball again after struggling last season? Roderick Robinson Jr., Lincoln Hornet, part of the Georgia running back core at Georgia. Alabama, you're 2 under Kalen DeBoer. Do you think they're going to be better or worse than last year?
Who?
Alabama. I'm not a huge believer in Kalen DeBoer. I thought they were okay last year. I think the reign of terror that Alabama had been on is over.
They are.
But we'll see. New quarterback, Ty Simpson. New offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb.
I think they'll be a little bit better. I think they will be a little bit better.
Last year was the first time since 2007 they lost 4 games. Did they over under 4 losses? Over under 3.5 losses this year?
In the conference or overall?
Overall.
I'd say it's probably a 4-loss season, I would think.
4-loss season for Alabama. They start at Florida State.
That should be a win.
UL Monroe at home.
Win.
Wisconsin, win.
Yes.
That's at home too. At Georgia.
Loss.
Vanderbilt at home.
I would say win, but
they're at home, dude. They're not going to Nashville. At Missouri, that's kind of tricky.
You know what? I'll give Mizzou the benefit of the doubt there. I'll say that's a win for Mizzou.
3rd Saturday in October against Tennessee. It's in Tuscaloosa. They lost there last year.
My friend might destroy me if I say Alabama wins that game.
Well, they got Tennessee at South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and at Auburn to finish the season.
The only other game if they lose against Tennessee, they'll lose against LSU, and then they'll win out the rest of the way.
They beat Oklahoma at home?
Yes.
All right, that's Alabama. LSU, they apparently have one of the best quarterbacks in this year's draft. Garrett Nussmeier leads the offense. Brian Kelly is 0 for 3 in openers at LSU. They get Clemson. Game 1.
Go Tigers.
Oh, okay. Can you say why do the people that live in Clemson add a P to the name?
No,
Clemson.
No, I didn't mean like I was picking LSU. It's Go Tigers. It's which
I know
team
they're
is
both
it?
the Tigers.
Yeah,
I'm asking the question on Clemson. Why is there a P added to Clemson?
Because South. I don't know.
Stop asking dumb questions.
Exactly.
West Coast local angle for us. Now, obviously, the 2 Southern California schools at the top, USC and UCLA, not in the top 25. Arizona State out on the West Coast, surprise Big 12 champs last year. Kenny Dillingham and Sam Levitt equals Arizona State as a legit college football playoff contender last year. But Arizona State, we'll see if they can bounce back. According to Phil Steele, they're supposed to have a regression. We'll see what Sammy Lev's got up his sleeve.
Exactly right.
Oregon.
Really quick.
Yes.
Ricardo in the chat. Is Rey Mysterio the biggest thing to come out of San Diego? The fact that he's, 5'5"? Probably not. Anyway, continue.
Wow, short jokes. Foul on you.
Well, no, he is.
Foul. Short jokes, foul.
That's his gimmick, though.
He draws the foul.
Did you see that? Did you see that guy on Twitter yesterday post the video of like the kid that ran out of the field?
Yes.
And then said it was me. That's so funny.
Yes, I did.
Man. I thought my response was great. I got better moves than that, dude.
Biggest champion, again, 5'5". No.
Targeting. Frank.
He draws the foul.
That's a personal foul with targeting. Plays under review. Arizona State, surprise Big 12 champs last year. They come in the top 15 in the country. They come in at number 11. Oregon, number 9 in the country. Dante Moore takes over after sitting a year behind Dylan Gabriel. Ducks are stacked. Also need to win a playoff game this time. They got smoked in the Rose Bowl. I don't know what was worse, that or blowing a 31-point lead in another bowl game. You know, where's Derek at? Boise State is the only other West Coast team in the top 25. College football playoff team from a year ago, they got to replace Genty, but now they need to prove that they're more than just Ashton Genty, right? Maddox Madsen takes the reins. Great group of 5 storyline to follow for the West Coast. Other national contenders, Ohio State, new quarterback Julian Sayin out of Carlsbad, getting tested right away with a matchup against Texas. They have a ton of NFL talent on that team. Still have star receiver Jeremiah Smith, who I thought put on a show in last year's postseason. They got defensive back Caleb Downs as well. Ohio State poised for another big year. A lot of it's gonna rest on Julian Sayin's shoulders, though. Notre Dame, Jeremiah Love is a star running back. But can Marcus Freeman finally solve the quarterback problem? Their quarterback problem really hurt him last year. They open up at Miami in a huge primetime game. Speaking of Miami, Carson Beck is the headline. Loaded O-line, week 1, Notre Dame, instant credibility check. Got a lot of good matchups in week 1. I don't think Carson Beck's going to get it done in Miami.
No.
I don't think he's going to have a Cam Ward experience. He's not doing this. He's not going to do that. Wild cards and fun storylines to watch. South Carolina comes in at number 13 in the country. They finished 2024 in a 6-game win streak. Lenore Sellers might be a breakout star. Keep your mind on Sellers. Keep your eyes on Sellers. He's getting a lot of great praise as a quarterback in South Carolina. Michigan comes in at 14 in the AP Top 25. True freshman Bryce Underwood starting at quarterback. He's the one that got that big contract, didn't he? See, the guy got like $12 million or something?
I believe so, yes.
That's rare at Michigan, but the kid is the number 1 recruit in the nation. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss comes in at 21 in the AP Top 25 to start the season. Can he make history with 3 straight 10-win seasons, which has never been done in Oxford? Are you surprised by that? Ole Miss has never won 10 games 3 years in a row.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of am, considering some of the talent that they've had.
You got to play,
Yeah.
But for the most part, they've been in the SEC West.
Mm-hmm.
With Alabama and Auburn and LSU and a lot of good teams. Tennessee comes in at number 24. The wild quarterback drama for the offseason. Nico left for UCLA. Joey Aguilar transfers from App State to UCLA to Tennessee all in 1 year. They basically made a trade for quarterbacks. We'll see how Aguilar does for the Tennessee Volunteers. Who's under more pressure in week 1 of college football? Arch Manning at Texas or Julian Sayin at Ohio State? I'd say Arch Manning because of his name.
Yeah, exactly. And also Sayin's a true freshman, isn't he? Is he not?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not going to expect.
Well, no, he's not a true freshman. He played last year.
Okay, so you're not going to expect the world out of a redshirt freshman.
Right. He's played some decent time already at Ohio State. I think he's good. And he doesn't have to worry about the pressure's around the Manning name more than anything else.
The pressure is going to be on Nico at UCLA.
Oh, yeah, that's massive
really
pressure. You got 5 games coming up on Saturday for week 0. The best game is Iowa State, Kansas State in Ireland.
Should be on at 9 in the morning.
9 a.m. on ESPN. K-State's got a 3-point favorites in that one. Idaho State Bengals at UNLV. UNLV is favored by 25.5. Fresno State at Kansas, I think, is an intriguing matchup at 3:30 on Saturday on Fox. That's a 13-point favorite for the Jayhawks, opening up their brand new stadium. Mm-hmm. Sam Houston State Bearcats at Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers are favored by 10 in that one, 4 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. And the Stanford Cardinal are at the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, 4:30 on CBS. Hawaii's favored by 2.5.
Go Hawaii.
Are you surprised by that line right there?
Yes, I am.
So am I.
Go Hawaii.
We will pick those games on Friday. When we come back, take a look at tonight's ball game between the Padres and the Giants. Maybe dive into a little bit of NFL to finish the show on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Jose #1 Sports Station 97 to the Fan. 1:40 on a Wednesday. Getting you ready for Gwen and Chris coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. We've had a good day today, Frank.
It has been a nice day.
We're a little worried. And when I looked at the rundown this morning, I got a little stressed out.
Yeah,
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, I tried my best. I worked on that rundown for 3 hours.
Frank does a great job with our rundown.
Looking at CBS, ESPN, The Athletic.
Nobody makes a better rundown than Frank Marchese.
Okay.
Nobody plans a better show than Frank Marchese.
Stop lying now.
Nobody's got better natural casing than Frank Marchese.
God, why? You know what?
I'll take the foul. That was worth it. I'll take it. I will take the encroachment.
You had the foul to give.
I have a foul to
so
give.
You took it.
Hey, up 3, late, foul. Always foul up 3 late. You're welcome. Try to keep it together, big dog. Try to keep it together. Anyway, so we talked college football. We talked this. We talked that. Talked Padres baseball. I'm seeing so many Ryan O'Hearn memes. I am wheezing. Let's think about that for a second. I specifically used the term wheezing. Everybody listening, think about when you hear the word wheezing, that is a very descriptive word for a reaction to something. Is it not?
It is.
Wheezing.
Something I did a lot when I was younger.
That's how funny this thing is. That's how funny some of these memes are.
Well, for me, it's because I had asthma. But...
Okay. Yes. Or you were laughing really hard.
No,
wheezing. Anyway. Nate, don't take the stairs. That would be hyperventilating or gassed. More likely. Do you want to talk about this? Let's rip through this NFL thing before we talk about the Padres game.
Sure.
All right. Bill Barnwell on ESPN.com has laid out 5 teams he thinks are going to decline in 2025.
Okay.
He lays out all the points. We're going to buy or sell whether or not we agree with Bill Barnwell.
Gotcha.
Starting with Kansas City, Frank.
Yes. Kansas City Chiefs, 15-2 last year, plus 59-point differential. They were 10-0 in one-score games last year. The refs were 10-0 in one-score games last year. Won an NFL record 10 one-score games in 2024, often relying on opponent mistakes, controversial calls, or missed kicks. Had the worst point differential for any 15-plus win team in NFL history. History says teams like this drop about 3 wins the following season. Buy or sell the Chiefs being a drop in performance.
Due to regression? Yes. Because they went 15-2. I think they will. What does it say? They will lose. They'll drop by 3 wins. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
100%. Even though they got the Mahomes, Reed, Spagnuolo trio has been pretty awesome for Kansas City. Reed's one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL. Spagnuolo's one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. And you have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Despite all the other moving parts of Kansas City that they've had, that they've parted ways with, guys that are aging, they've continued to be near the top, but I do think they are due for regression because going 15-2 again is very impressive. On to the next one.
I would agree, and their teams have not been as good as they have been in recent years. The next one would be the Minnesota Vikings, who went 14-3 last year, 100-point differential. Defense thrived on turnovers, led the league, which usually doesn't carry over year by year. Oldest roster in the NFL on a snap-weighted basis. Lost veteran corners, banking on aging defensive tackles. Rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy takes over a 14-win roster, which is something we rarely see. Buy or sell. Minnesota has a fall off this year.
Absolutely buying that. 14-3, replacing the quarterback. This is the guy that they drafted. And Kevin O'Connell's done a great job with all quarterbacks. I mean, think about the quarterbacks that he has had he's had 2 different quarterbacks the last couple of years. And Kirk Cousins did really well. And then they moved on to Sam Darnold, who also did really well, lost him. And now it's on to J.J. McCarthy. Kevin O'Connell might be a quarterback whisperer, perhaps, the San Diego guy.
Who knows?
And if that's the case, then J.J. McCarthy should be able to take over a pretty good roster with a lot of good weapons. I don't think they're going to only lose 3 games, though. I mean, they had a pretty big season last year. So
they did.
I will buy that they are going to regress.
The Washington Commanders as a team that could regress. They went 12-5 last year. Massive turnaround last season with Jaden Daniels' magic, but benefited from insane fourth down success. 87% conversion rate, which was an NFL record, and opponent mistakes, as well as one very important Hail Mary for one team. One of the league's oldest rosters, few young players developing, healthiest season in years, likely to regress, buy or sell.
Are the Commanders a playoff lock or due to fall back down to earth in 2025? I think they make the playoffs. I think they probably play around the same level of ball that they played last year. Jaden Daniels' magic is going to be a big reason why they have a lot of success. I know he had some luck with that. I don't think Washington has a down year this year.
I mean, it's still, the East is still a good division. They're clearly not winning the division, but the East is,
I think they give the Eagles
East
a run for their money.
The East always is a very tough division. The Indianapolis Colts went 8-9 last year. Beat up on bad teams at backup quarterbacks, which were half of their wins. Quarterback situation is shaky. Daniel Jones is the starter. Defense struggled tackling, and defensive coordinator tasked with fixing it. Buy or sell, Colts closer to a 5-win team this year than a 10-win team this year.
I buy that. I think they are closer to a 5-win team than a 10-win team.
I agree as well.
I mean, their quarterback situation is totally bad. Anthony Richardson is not going to start, and it's going to be Daniel Jones. I mean, those are 2 quarterbacks that have not done well in the National Football League. Anthony Richardson got off to a good start, then got hurt, and then last year was kind of a debacle with some of the times he pulled himself out of games. I mean, they are a problem. They are a major problem. They had a lot of success in one-score games, as Frank mentioned. 7-4 in one-score games. 7 of their 8 wins have been in one-score games. That could go back and forth. And when teams win a lot of one-score games, the next year they usually don't win a lot of one-score games. So I think the Colts are closer to a 5-win team than a 10-win team.
I would agree with that as well. The Detroit Lions are the last one on this list, 15-2 last year. Unlike Kansas City, they were truly dominant. Huge point differential, blowout opponents. Biggest concern, offensive line, interior weakened after Frank Ragnow's retirement. Defense devastated by injuries last year, should be healthier next year. Buy or sell, the Lions stay elite, or do injuries and a tougher schedule drop them back?
I think they stay elite, but I don't think they go 15-2.
No, they're
going to win less games, so that's technically a regression, but I still think they'll be at the top of the NFC.
I'll say it'll be about a 12-5, 13-4 season.
I could see that. I buy that for sure. So some teams that might regress this season. We think I thought 3 of them will regress, and I think 2 of them will not.
Correct.
All right. Padres game tonight. What do you want to see out of JP Sears, Mr. Marchese?
Just keep the game close.
Keep it
manageable.
Don't get shelled.
Exactly.
We're not asking for a lot.
Just keep the game manageable. That is literally it.
What's that meme? Man, we didn't have high expectations, but bro, Is that the game we're looking for out of JP Sears?
No, because that would mean they got shelled.
Yeah, it's true. I think JP Sears is going to have a really big bounce back inning. Padres bullpen last night only used 3 of their arms. It would be nice if JP Sears got 6. I think he has to get you at least 5. I mean, there's been too many pitchers that are not going at least 5 innings right now for the Padres. And JP Sears is going against Landon Root, 7-6 with a 3.45 ERA. Thursday's game is interesting. Justin Verlander. It's the first time I've actually seen his numbers. 1-9 with a 4.23 ERA. Is this his last year?
It has to be. If it's not his last year, then he's looking for something at that point.
I mean, he's accomplished a lot already, right? He's an MVP, 3-time Cy Young Award winner. He won the Rookie of the Year. He's a 9-time All-Star, won the pitching Triple Crown, 2-time World Series winner, 2-time ERA title, ALCS MVP, and a Major League Player of the Year. I mean, what else does Justin Verlander have to do?
I mean, unless there's a record that he really wants, I don't know.
He's 42 years old. This is now like the third year. Second year. No, third year. 2023 no, it's the second year. 2023 had a 3.22 ERA on the Mets and the Astros. Last year on the Astros was 5-6 with a 5.48. Giants now 1-9, 4.23. I mean, it's continuing decline, and he's at 42 years old. Is his contract up at the end of the year?
I don't know. It might have been a 2-year deal he went to San Francisco on.
I'm looking it up right now. He's got to hang it up.
Yeah,
right? Don't give him a reason to not hang it up tomorrow. Padres. Justin Verlander's, he's a free agent at the end of the year. He's getting $15 million this year. I mean, if somebody is still willing to pay you that kind of cash, maybe you just keep saying yes. But, I mean, he's 42 and a half years old. He'll be 43 next year. This has to be the swan song for Justin Verlander.
I mean, rather sign a one-day contract to Houston and then just say that sayonara.
Houston.
That's where he's had most of his success is Houston. I understand.
Spent 13 years in Detroit.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I mean, when you think when you think of Justin Verlander, of course, I mean, people who've seen him his whole career will think of Detroit, but I mean, for a lot of fans right now, they'll know him from those championship teams in Houston.
He won in Houston. And it's not like he didn't spend a lot of time in Houston either. He spent 7 years in Houston on relatively two different stints. 13 years in Detroit, 7 years in Houston. He was an all-star 6 times in Detroit, 3 times in Houston. Both of his World Series championships are in Houston. How many? I would have to look up his Cy Youngs in terms of where he won those because I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, you're making a good case, Frank, for Justin Verlander to be known as a Houston Astro.
I mean, if he
goes a Hall of Famer,
yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
He going in as a Stro or a Tiger?
I mean, doesn't it go by service time, or did they change that?
No,
rule?
they get to pick. I thought they get.
Okay, because I was going to say if it was by service time, he's going in as a Tiger, but that's not where most people would think to put him. Most people would think to put him as an Astro.
I still always think about him as a Tiger.
Well, of course, because we saw him his entire career.
I'm just saying. I just feel him as that. By the way, how's the trade deadline champions doing? Since they had their big trade deadline piece.
They are the worst team in baseball since acquiring Rafael Devers.
18-33 since acquiring Rafael Devers. I remember when the Padres made that move. When the Giants made that move, I remember sitting there like, Padres better make a move. Remember?
Yes.
Everybody was complaining the Padres weren't making a move. Oh, our catching situation sucks. Oh, we have no outfielder. Oh, look, the Giants, they just got Rafael Devers.
Sometimes the best move you can make is to sit on your hands.
Jim Bowden said they won the trade deadline.
Close.
I don't think they have. I don't think they did. If they play O'Hearn more, maybe the Padres have won the trade deadline. We'll see. See what the lineup is today. Don't have to wait for a roster move. Coming up next, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Gwynn and Chris with Matt Scraby. 97 through the Fan.